talk with a few friends, and try something out. When it doesn't work, you're disappointed. We've all been there, and it sucks. You know what I say? Stop trying. Do what I did and start doing. Reach your goal with Awaken 180. It's a clear course to success without the disappointment. No guesswork, no trial and error, and no medication side effects. I'm proof. I dropped 80 pounds my first go at it, and it was simple. A word never associated with weight loss, except when referring to Awaken 180. Choose the simple, clear course to success. The solution for weight loss. Set your course today by calling 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or go to awaken180weightloss.com.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
It's not overblown to say this is the biggest moment of her political life.
She's going to have low expectations because the President Biden did so horribly in June. It wasn't that Trump did great. It was that President Biden didn't do very well at all. And I say this, I could be eating my words on Wednesday.
People are saying that they don't know her. Mm-hmm. People are saying that they aren't going to vote, that they're going to sit on the couch. I think that she needs to outline her vision for this country, which is a joyful one, which is one that moves forward. I think she can't fall into the... It's a plus for her that she's a former prosecutor and he's a felon. I like that matchup. But I think she can't fall into the attack mode because then she falls into the tropes of the angry black woman.
Yeah. Let's go, everybody. You know what time it is. 3 o'clock on the East Coast, 12 noon on the West Coast. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. Welcome to your Tuesday, September the 10th, 2024. I, of course, am your host, filling in for Todd Feinberg, Reese on the Radio. Go to reaseontheradio.com. That's reaseontheradio.com. So you can watch my melodious voice, and you can also chime in on the chat room. Friend us on Facebook. Go to, what else we got? Oh, Rumble. You can go to X, formerly Twitter, and you can text us live or you can chat live, and we'll read your comments on it, especially if you're sitting at your office and you're trying to fool your boss. And you're like, no, I'm not listening to Reese on the Radio. I'm just doing my job, sir. Hand me that acquisition. Yeah, so whatever. So enjoy yourself. Have a good time. That's what we're here for. And, of course, talk about the important news of the day. Folks, I know everyone's talking about it because I've been scouring the internet, the interwebs, the World Wide Webs, the radio shows, the news programs. It's all anyone can talk about because, of course, it's about their ratings is about everyone else analyzing. And I get it. There's a million people who can give you an analyst point of view. The talking heads, they're all there. I get it. But I believe in what Rush Limbaugh said to Mark Levin. And Mark Levin said, I don't want to come in on the air and talk about things that everybody already talked about ad nauseum. People have already done that. And Rush Limbaugh says to him, yeah, but they haven't heard what you have to say about it. And so as much as I don't want to be in the echo chamber, I have to think about it. I have to be thoughtful about what I'm going to say as one of these analysts of the debate tonight. I don't know what's going to happen. I know I'm just going to watch it with you. But I have a prediction. And we'll find out whether or not I know what I'm talking about. After the fact. In fact, immediately after. I'll tell you about that later. Stay tuned. Here's what I personally believe, and I'm going to give you some background to my point. Why do I believe it? First, and then I'll tell you why. What I believe. Why do I believe what I believe? CNN is hemorrhaging viewers. CNN has lost any and all credibility as a news network. No one watches their show. I've said it over and over again here on this program that House Hunters on HGTV with no host does better than their primetime host at 8 through 10 p.m. So when CNN hosted the debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, they had to be on their P's and Q's. They had to play balls and strikes, Dana Bash and Jake Tapper. They had to, because everything they've been doing has been losing. So they had to get some people over to say, hey, you know what? Maybe they aren't as bad as they used to be. Maybe they're coming around. And they have. Guess what? Their ratings have actually improved. Not greatly, but they have. So they had more on the line. If they played favorites, forget about it. They're sunk. And they've got a new CEO at the helm after they got rid of the last loser who used to work on the Colbert Show. What? So they had a lot on the line. But ladies and gentlemen, ABC's got nothing to lose. They're ABC News. And you can damn well bet they will be the third candidate on that stage tonight. David Muir doesn't care whether or not he seems partisan. ABC News doesn't care if these moderators seem partisan. Their network, they're the big dogs. Remember, cable news is just trying to reach the status of regular network news, CBS, NBC, ABC. Now, I know a lot of people say, it's like, people watch CNN, people watch MSN. Well, they don't watch CNN. People watch MSNBC, people watch Fox News. You don't think anybody's paying attention to ABC, NBC, and CBS? Yes, they are. They've got the tens of millions of people who watch their network. I think at last, one of the highest ratings for David Muir was somewhere up in the 10 million. Lester Holt just behind him on 8-9 million. You don't see those numbers in cable news because a lot of people who watch the news, they're still in analog. They're not in the digital age. They're not in the streaming age. A lot of Americans are just not there, and a lot of Americans have basic cable. So they watch the basic network news programs. They do. And they've got a cushion. They're competing with the big dogs, NBC, ABC, CBS. They're competing with each other. They're not competing with Fox and CNN. So they don't have to play it down the line. Newsbusters, go to their website, newsbusters.org. 100% of their coverage is positive for Kamala Harris, just released today. 100%. More than 95% of their coverage negative towards Donald Trump. Do you think tonight they're going to decide to play it down the middle? They don't have to care. They know the guys that they're beating double in the ratings are going to be talking about them tonight and tomorrow. ABC News isn't, they don't care what Fox News says about them tonight or tomorrow. Yeah, don't worry about it, Fox. I know you're beating those guys over in the cable news network. So what? You're never going to have 10 million viewers over here like David Muir. So get ready for that. All of you should be ready for that. The objective for ABC News is to make sure that Kamala Harris is saved. To them, they believe CNN was complicit in destroying the candidacy of Joe Biden. Oh, come on. ABC News, NBC News, they're all in bed together with Washington, aren't they? Susan Rice. Huh? Who's she married to? Ben Rhodes. Who's he a relative of? Oh, no. If you don't know, folks, I know some of you are not into the interwebs, but seriously, just go to your smartphones and look up those names. Susan Rice's husband, Ben Rhodes' brother. Go look them up. Find out whether or not they're involved with any major news networks. You're damn right they are. Obama officials in bed with people who have relatives in the news networks? Come on. Come on. We all know the jig is up. They cannot, Kamala Harris, everyone is scared to death. She's on the big stage. This isn't a primary stage. This is on the stage that everyone's going to be watching. Everyone. George Stephanopoulos, he doesn't even have to be there. Jonathan Karl doesn't have to be there. Martha Raddatz doesn't have to be there. But we all know how they feel about Donald Trump, don't we? Martha Raddatz cried on the air when Donald Trump won in 2016. Did we forget that? Objective journalist, my foot. ABC's got nothing to lose with looking like subjective television. They need to be remembered for salvaging the presidential career of Kamala Harris. Don't worry about it. Don't get me wrong. There's a bigger point to this that I'm trying to make. Watch me now. It won't matter. It won't matter a hill of beans because the American public knows when they're being duped. The American public knows when they've been made a fool of. Or that somebody is putting their finger on the scale. ABC can't affect that change. They can't. They can do whatever they can to make it seem like it's happening organically or naturally, but the American people are hip to the nonsense. So while they'll salvage her in some way to at least keep her credibility afloat, everything about Kamala Harris will be exposed today. Even when Donald Trump loses, if he does this debate tonight, he still wins because Kamala Harris has got to go out there and sound like she knows what she's doing. And better yet, if she's going to be the change candidate that everyone's talking about, she has to explain what she's a change from. Donald Trump, who is not in office, or Joe Biden, who is. So don't fret. While everyone else is losing their mind, pulling their hair out, talking about what ABC News is going to do. Oh, it's going to be awful. Donald Trump is... It matters not. No offense to the rest of my counterparts or compadres in the news media business. I know why it's important because we got to have something to talk about. But let's be honest. We're living in a world now where everyone can make up their mind. Everybody can actually see the nonsense. So it doesn't matter what they do. That gaslighting thing it's kind of over. Kamala Harris is a very flawed candidate. The worst part is that they already told us that she was. So we can see the okie doke. There is no curtain to hide behind. The wizard was always exposed. So I get that everybody else wants to talk all about it. She's like, what was ABC going to do? David Muir, he's been known to be biased. Yeah, okay, we know that. But it doesn't matter. We all know it doesn't matter. People just need something to talk about. So I expect it to be very, very entertaining on all fronts. As a guy who sits behind this microphone, who has to convey this stuff to you, for me, this is entertaining. I need the chaos. It's hilarious to me. But I don't want to talk about the stuff that everybody else is doing. I can't. It's boring. I need to get in depth, inside. I need to know exactly why this is ticking the way that it's ticking. The outside clock means nothing. So we'll get into it. I'm sure you want to give your prediction. I'm sure you want to talk about it to some degree. You absolutely can. Give us a call at 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. I don't mean to take the wind out of your sails. I know this is important to you. I know that some people have some advice for Donald Trump. But before you do that, and I take Patrick in Middletown, hold on, Patrick, for me, but I want to say this last thing before I take his call. You hear all these people telling Donald Trump what he needs to do. Donald Trump needs to do this. Donald Trump needs to do that. Donald Trump needs to say this. Donald Trump needs to say that. Relax. Calm down. Donald Trump is trying to win the election, not serve other people's ideas. He wants to win. He is going to handle Kamala Harris in a way that it's presented to him. If she's hostile, he'll respond. If she's presidential, he'll respond. He's done this a few times. It was back in 2020, that first debate where he got a little hot-headed. The last time we saw him with Joe Biden, he was a completely different person, wasn't he? He was didn't even recognize him. That's the reason why Kamala Harris's team is afraid. And you can't walk into a 3 o'clock brawl after school with your knees shaking. And Kamala Harris's campaign has already showed they're a little nervous because they don't know what Donald Trump they're going to get. That's why everyone is predicting what Donald Trump's going to say or how he's going to behave, because they have no idea what he's going to do. And that scares them even more. So enjoy it. Now let's go to Patrick in Middletown before we take a break. How are we doing, Patrick? Patrick, you there? Okay, maybe not.
He's there. He's just not talking.
That's okay. Not a problem. I can do this forever and ever and ever and ever. I was born to talk. Anyway, I just want to make this clear. We got so much stuff to cover about this and a whole lot more. So we'll get into that. We'll take your thing. The stupidest thing I've read today, by the way, if you haven't, go to reasoontheradio.com so you can read that story. The stupidest thing I read today. It's an interesting story about the job market, especially for those who, remember they told us we should learn how to code? This one's an interesting story. Go to Reese on the Radio so you can check that out. Also, we'll get into Matt Walsh's film, Am I Racist? And don't forget the 5 o'clock focus is coming up very soon. And this one is going to be another fun one after Monday Night Football. I would love to hear what a lot of people have to say. It's going to be an interesting show today. Oh, and don't forget, we've got plenty of audio sound bites. When we come back from the break, I traveled in my DeLorean. I borrowed it from Doc Brown. And I went into the future to see what Kamala Harris's presidency would look like. And I brought back audio. And interestingly enough, James Earl Jones was there. We'll play that. Don't go anywhere. After we return, I'm going to play the audio that I brought back from the future, an alternate future, where Kamala Harris is president of the United States. I promise you, you do not want to miss this. Okay? All right? Stick around. More news, more views than you can shake a stick at. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Did you know that 9 out of 10 customers would recommend AAA insurance to a friend? 9 out of 10 people don't even like baseball. And that's America's pastime. It has an entire Hall of Fame that people visit just because they love baseball that much. Does that mean we should have a Hall of Fame? You can't frame legendary service. Legendary service and superior coverage from AAA Insurance. Something 9 out of 10 of our customers would recommend. Find out why at AAA.com/
3 O'Clock High is not only underrated, it is a fantastic movie.
by CSAA Insurance Exchange.
Weather can be unpredictable nowadays, but your local news station on the free Odyssey app has got you covered. Whether you need an umbrella, windbreaker, or an extra layer, or two, we'll let you know. Download the free Odyssey app and search for your local news station to listen on your smartphone or ask your smart speaker to play it before you head out the door. Download the free Odyssey app and search for your local news station. That's AUDACY.
Men, when addressing the problem of erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific medical situation because every case is different, and finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just an okay experience and an amazing one. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and at our practices, we offer the full range of ED treatment protocols and can even combine therapy.
Hey, Roland, when we get back, can you just play a
for you and your partner? At Northeast Men's
what do we
Health,
call
we're
it?
the leader in
Do
treating
you call it
ED
a
in the
tag?
area. Our medical providers specialize in men's sexual.
For
When we come back from the
which
commercial.
means you'll get
Yep.
treatment
Yeah,
for
can you
you
just play a
based on
tag, no
sound
music?
medical evaluation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Applications, medical therapies. Plus, we offer treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most men, you'll get your sex life back. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 5 offices in the Northeast to serve you.
Vacation is over, school is back in session, and WTIC News Talk 1080 is part of your daily routine with news, weather, and traffic updates, plus local talk shows to keep you informed and entertained. It's back to the grind, but we'll help you get through it. WTIC News Talk 1080 on your radio, your smart speaker, and the free Odyssey app. Mystic, Hamden, Putnam. When you want local news, turn to WTIC News Talk 1080, reporting on the local stories that affect you. From Manchester to Mystic, Hartford to Hamden, and Putnam to Plymouth, one radio station has your local news and breaking news as it happens. WTIC News Talk 1080. Listen on your radio, smart speaker, and on your phone with the free Odyssey app. And now, a WTIC News Update.
30, 77 degrees, sunny skies in Hartford. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. We'll keep this sunshine for the balance of the afternoon. We'll have the forecast details from meteorologist Jason Caterina coming up. The community gathered today for a vigil in Middletown for the victims of a plane crash over the weekend in Vermont. The 4 had flown out of Wyndham Airport for brunch and were headed back to Connecticut when the aircraft went down. Among those on board, a teenager and her high school aviation teacher, her mother, and another man. The FAA and TSB are conducting an investigation. Crash early this morning left an East Hartford police officer injured. The officer's cruiser was struck on Burnside Avenue. He was taken to the hospital for treatment of minor injuries. Police in New Haven investigating after they say the body of a woman was pulled from the Quinnipiac River. Officers say the call came in around 7:30 this morning, female in the river near the Ferry Street Bridge. In Bridgeport, police say a woman was found dead Monday night, and a person wanted for questioning is now dead as well. The 27-year-old victim was found on Central Avenue after police were alerted to shots on Seaview Avenue. The detectives say the man they were looking for was found dead today in Stratford. Palestinian officials say an Israeli strike hit a crowded tent camp in Gaza, killing at least 19 people and wounding 60. Israel says it targeted senior Hamas militants with precise munitions. Tonight, Vice President Harris and former President Trump take their cases to be president of the American people. The two will square off in a debate in Philly in what might be the only such forum of the campaign. WTIC News Talk 1080 will air the debate beginning at 9 p.m. WTIC News Time is 3:32. Jason Caterina with the forecast.
For the rest of the afternoon, a sunny and gorgeous day, the high of 79 under clear skies tonight. Quite cool and comfy with that low down to 48. Then as we head into Wednesday, partly sunny and nice, a little light breeze out of the south, the high of 80 degrees. Then for Thursday, mostly sunny, a touch warmer, a nice breeze out of the south, the high up to 84, and sunny to partly cloudy Friday, the high right back to 84. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
A half hour before the close, the Dow's down 119 points, the Nasdaq's up 148, and the S&P is up 23. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
A happy place comes in many colors. One that leaves you feeling refreshed. Something that gets you all fired up. Or gives you the space to chill. Whatever your color, bring happiness home with CertaPro Painters and make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
It's great to have neighbors you can count on. For more than 45 years, you've been able to count on the law firm of Brown, Painderis & Scott for professional legal counsel, from family law and business to property disputes and personal injury claims. At Brown, Painderis & Scott, our team of lawyers have over 100 years of combined experience and are your neighbors. At BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. Visit us at bpslawyers.com. Nick Painderis is responsible for the content of this ad.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Do you have shoe boxes full of photos? Today only, radio listeners get VIP access to the new Photo Legacy Box. Get your family's photos professionally scanned for as low as 7 cents, which is 76% less than what other brands charge. As the world's largest digitizer, you know you can trust Legacy Box to digitize your entire collection of 4x6 photos. Everything from the embarrassing haircut you had in the 90s to photos of your great-grandma's wedding. Visit legacybox.com/value to get 200 photos scanned starting at just $19.95. Oh, and don't forget, Legacy Box also digitizes over 15 other types of analog media, so you can get your favorite memories on VHS or Grandpa's film reels from the 40s digitized too. Take advantage of this exclusive offer on the new Photo Legacy Box today and preserve your past for as low as 7 cents. Go to legacybox.com/value. That's legacybox.com/value.
One minute.
I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter.
He
help
cares
protect
too much.
yourself
I hate
from
him.
RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both. It's recommended.
Fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is. You know who it is.
It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 10.
Welcome back. That's right. This song is for my producer extraordinaire, the man that I honestly had to live without for a whole week because, something about his wedding anniversary. Went all the way out to the West Coast, left me here, stranded me. But I just want to show that I'm so happy that he's back. Please give it up to my producer extraordinaire, Mr. Roland. Welcome home. Welcome home. I just want to let you know, Roland, you're going to have to clone yourself from now on. You have to get somebody else. I don't know, go in there, give up a vial of blood, whatever it is they got to do over at the scientist over at Pfizer, okay? They're right in the state. Just go over there and find out whatever they can and just get your clone, right? We can keep him in the closet. We can make sure that, he's biodegradable and all that good stuff, but never leave me again, okay? I understand. What wedding anniversary was this one?
Number 10.
Number 10. Oh, my God, the 10th. Okay, well, the 11th means nothing, so.
Yeah. That's it. I'm what do they say? You tenured now? I'm tenured now.
Yeah, you're tenured, exactly. Well, congratulations. I hope you had fun. Did you win any money?
I lost a whole. Well, they don't tell you how inflation has
really
killed Vegas.
Wow.
I ordered a medium pizza and it was $51.99.
No way. No way. Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get into that trip much later in the week. We got so much stuff to get into. Okay, before we get into the phone calls, listen to me. Okay? I want you to believe that I did this because I worked really hard on it. I traveled into the future. I traveled in an alternate future, I might add. I put it in the DeLorean. I asked not only for the date, but I also asked for a particular, a particular timeline, the 614. For those of you in the Marvel things, you know that. Anyway, I came back with audio of what it would be like on Kamala's first day as president of the United States. And I ended up in the Oval Office while she was meeting with all the elites and all of her donors. She was meeting with them one at a time, and I caught her with one donor. And that exchange went like this. I kid you not.
All you dreamed I would be?
Oh, you're fine. I thought we should talk to each other, get to know each other.
Ever since I was born, I've been trained to serve you.
Yes, I know this, but I would like to know about you. What do you like to do?
Whatever you like.
What kind of music do you like?
Whatever kind of music you like.
Are you saying that no matter what I tell you to do, you will do?
Yes, Your Highness.
Anything I say, you do?
Yes, Your Highness.
Bark like a dog. A big dog.
Woof, woof, woof.
Hop on one leg.
Woof, 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 woof.
Make a noise like an orangutan.
Ah, I see the two of you are getting along.
Yes, James Earl Jones was there too. Yes, Kamala Harris doing the bidding of her donors. Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. To the phones we go, 860-522-WTIC. Patrick has fixed his phone. How are you, Patrick?
Reese.
Yes, sir.
Are you there?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I missed your call before because I actually got a call back from the VA in Newington, Connecticut, which is a rarity.
Okay. Does that mean that you have some promising news for us from yesterday?
No, I'll tell you what happened. I got through to Chris Murphy's office.
No way.
And I let him have it good. Believe me. I'm half Irish, Sicilian, and German, and I let him have it good. I said, I will no longer reside in this barn in Middletown, Connecticut, with no running water and no toilet, no shower.
Wow.
Okay? I want a voucher for the Hilton Garden Inn in Glastonbury, Connecticut, indefinitely until you straighten out my housing situation. Okay?
How did they respond?
I let them have it good. And tomorrow I'm going to the VA, and I'm also going to Fox 61 News Channel. I told them, I said, you're going to get exposed for who you truly are. You're bleeding heart liberals, and you're rolling out the red carpet for illegals. I'll tell you something else. Those gang members in Colorado that took over the apartment complex.
They're here.
Okay?
They're here. We know.
Got their security deposits and their first 3 months of rent paid for.
Yep.
I can't tell you who paid for it. If it's an NGO or taxpayers.
Of course you paid for it. It's not no NGOs paid for it. You paid for it. We all paid for it. Of course we did.
Right. That's what drives up the cost of everything.
Yep.
But the bottom line is I'm on the warpath now, and I'm not going away. And I told this idiot from Chris Murphy's office, I go, he's a black mark on the Irish heritage.
Poor
he
guy.
doesn't care about
I know.
guys that serve. I said, without veterans, you wouldn't have a job at the VA. There'd be no VA.
Yeah. Patrick, listen to me. Stay in touch. Okay, and you know what?
I'm going to give you updates.
You got it.
on my
Actually,
progress
Patrick,
here,
here's what
and
you'll do.
believe you me.
Do me one.
I'm doing this for all my federal disabled veterans out there.
Patrick,
okay?
listen to me. Really important. Listen, very important to me. Stay on hold, right? Roland's going to put you on hold. He's going to get your number for me so I can have it, and you and I will talk off the air, and we'll see. Actually, look, it's not like we haven't done this work before. Let's see whether or not we can get something done together. What you need is you need something bigger than just a call-in spot on WTIC with me. You need something bigger.
Right.
You need a
You're
bigger
absolutely
soapbox.
right, Reese.
So go on hold. Let me get some information. From you. My wife is a disabled veteran, 100%. As you were talking yesterday, she was listening and she was responding to everything you said. So she wants to help, so we both want to help. So if you go on hold, we'll get your number and I will give you a call when we get off the air.
I'll be right here, Reese.
You got
No
it, boss
problem.
man. Thank you. Let's get to Ralph in South Carolina. How are you, Ralph?
Good, Reese. Two things, or maybe three. First of all, do you think Bernie Sanders threw her under the bus?
Oh, no, absolutely not. I think what Bernie Sanders is trying to do, listen, Bernie Sanders' days are numbered when it comes to being a senator, okay? He knows that at this point, he's lost all credibility with the Bernie bros and the Bernie sis and all the people, the progressives, whom he used to be in good standing with. And right now, he is trying to save face because if you notice, he's going on podcasts and he's giving up the goods.
I
He's
should get more money than you.
He's saying stuff like we're no longer in a democracy. He's saying stuff like the big money plays a role. He's trying to win credibility. And while the guy sits in a $3 million home, and by the way, he owns 3, if I remember correctly, here's a Democrat socialist who sounds like, or at least lives like a capitalist. But he's trying to regain some credibility because, again, in Washington, the only thing you have is your notoriety. All right. Well, I'm sorry, Ralph. I got to go to the next call because for some reason we're getting bad feedback. But let me get to Fred in Middletown. Hello, Fred. You on Reese on the Radio?
Hey, I often think how Chris Murphy and Joe Biden are both not representing the Irish very well.
Oh, yeah.
It's this thing, I don't think I just soon hear someone not talk about the debate. In other words, one person cannot talk about it. Tom Shattuck started out with gender stuff and furries, and then he's like, all right, the debate it is. So
well, everyone has to. It's the biggest news of the. I mean, it's must-see TV, but for all the wrong reasons. It's like people waiting on a street corner for a 12-car pileup. That's what this is. That's exactly what this is.
Well, I want to hear Delilah or something. Just the positive. So anyway, I have a cute little thing. Tom was talking about the boys playing on the girls' teams, and he's like, now, if a girl can cut it and she wants to play on a boys' team, okay. But boys on girls' teams, no way.
Right.
And I was just reminded of when Sugar Ray Leonard went up and fought 180-pound Donnie Lalonde. At like 160 or 165 pounds himself tops.
Okay.
So, you go up in weight, but you don't go down in weight.
Yeah.
180-pounder can't challenge a 155-pounder for the middleweight title.
Yeah.
And then just one other real thing, like the furries. Somebody, like, using a kitty litter box in the bathroom because they think they're a cat. I mean, like, I wouldn't change kitty litter for like $1,000 a day. I mean, if I had
I wouldn't change it. I hate changing it for a cat.
Toilet.
I hate changing it for a cat, and I had a cat. Imagine having to change it for a human being.
Right. I would train a cat to use the toilet. Yeah. All right. Thank you. But
Indeed. Thank you, Fred. I appreciate you, sir. Yeah, but you know what? I give it. Tom, listen. Tom, like everyone else in this, is got to talk about it because, again, I'll get a phone call. I'll never forget this. I'll tell you an old story. And I know exactly. It had to be the day after. So if you can look this up, you'll know the exact date. It was a day after John McCain announced Sarah Palin as his running mate. And I had to go on the air, and everyone had been talking about it. But I had some other local stuff happening in Boston. Malden in particular. It was a really big story happening in Malden, Massachusetts. And it was important to the people of that city because it was going to affect Boston proper. And it had to do with of all things, garbage bags. Sounds crazy, but everyone was up in arms about it. But the thing that was sucking all the oxygen out of the room was the announcement of Sarah Palin, a virtual unknown, but was getting all of this attention. One, because she was from Alaska. Two, obviously attractive. She talked like a soccer mom. So that was the big news. And it was almost like they were inventing a big deal. I went on the air the next day. I'll never forget it. My program director, or the brand manager as they're referred to now, coming on the air an hour into my show, and I was only on for 2 hours, and I said, I'm not doing it. And they were like, why? I was just like, because everybody else is doing it. What more could I add? I don't know anything about her. When I know things about her, I'll add something to the commentary. I just don't. I had nothing interesting to say about a woman no one knew. Other than that, I was just going to be sitting around sounding like a bunch of other idiots speculating on what type of person she was going to be if she were to be vice president. It seems silly, and I still stand by that decision. But my program director hated that I wouldn't talk about it. Yeah, usually when big news like that comes on, you should talk about it. Of course, when it's big, not manufactured big. Sarah Palin became a big deal after the fact. Well, I would say deeper into the 2008 election. Clearly, what she had to say, the speeches she gave, those things. President Obama's response to her. You know, you can put lipstick on a pig. Doesn't matter, it's still a pig. Remember that? Like those things you obviously had to talk about. But not on first announcement. No one even heard of her. It would have been like me raving about Tim Walz. Mind you, there's no tampon story. Imagine there's no tampon story. There's no China story. There's no stolen valor story. There's no coward story about going to Iraq. Imagine none of that, and it's just Tim Walz. There's no story. How much am I going to spend talking about a guy who's got none of that stuff? Tim Walz, the reason why he was a big topic to talk about was because there was so much to talk about. But this debate, what are you going to do? Speculate? No. Everything I said about the debate about CNN, I was 100% right. They had to play balls and strikes. That's exactly what they did and the reason why. Mind you, tonight, watch what ABC does. If I'm wrong, I'll take it. I'll take the heat. I doubt it, though. I'm coming in here hot. I've been pretty good at this. We'll take a break. We got to come back in a couple of seconds, and we'll get our first view of traffic and much more news when we return. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Start your day with all the latest sports information. Matt Soroyce has updates from the Cordell and Cordell Sports Desk at 15 and 45 past every hour. Only on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Ground level storage containers, road trailers, or mobile offices. Don't get stressed, get Eagle. Just call Eagle Leasing at 1-800-GET-EAGLE or get a quote at eagleleasing.com. I'm Brandon Eagle. You see us everywhere. We're Eagle Leasing.
Facilities managers, it's time to think inside the box. Storage trailers and ground level storage containers from Eagle Leasing are the way to go. I'm Mike Eagle. Call 1-800-GET-EAGLE or visit us at eagleleasing.com. You see us everywhere. We're Eagle Leasing.
This is Eric Miner from Miners Incorporated in Canton, Connecticut.
Eric used to have an in-house IT staff, but not anymore.
Certainly the difference between when we did it ourselves and having Tab do it now is that they certainly know more about what they're doing than we ever did.
Not only does Eric get IT expertise, Tab Computer Systems doesn't tie him or his company's funds to a long-term contract.
Tab has been good at helping us to do what we do well and what we need to do well.
Which is sell building supplies and lumber. With Tab's monthly service plan, Eric's company has its own IT department that has to earn his business each month.
I would not hesitate at all to recommend Tab Computer Systems to assist any small business out there.
No long-term contracts. Just another reason to call Tab today. 1-888-TAB-4-HELP. 1-888-TAB-4-HELP. Or visit tabinc.com. Technology's advancing business. Tab Computer Systems.
Hey, it's Tom Shattuck. Mike, who lost 40 pounds with Awaken 180, was in the same position I was in. You're most likely in. confused.
I spent so much money on personal trainers in the last 10 years. Didn't have a lot of discretionary income left. So I tried to listen to everybody else. What do you eat? You know, everyone said, eat healthy. Define eating healthy. Cut out sugar. Tell me what foods don't have sugar. So their process to me was an education. That was really the eye-opening thing to me is I had 10 choices of food in front of me every day. You know, when I was on the run in sales, I was making 8 bad choices. I wasn't eating the 2 good ones. And I loved the 2 good ones. I just didn't know they were good. So I made bad choices every single day. And the program, Gonna Awaken 180, really changed my mind, opened my eyes up to, it was a true education on food, what to eat, what not to eat. And it's been fantastic.
Knowing what to eat. The ability to navigate nutrition labels, a proven, clear path for weight loss, and exactly what you will receive with Awaken 180. Leave confusion at the door and do what we did. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare,
1 minute.
Service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your
information.
Call for your free info kit, 800-329-2121, 800-329-2121, 800-329-2121.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080. Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Now I'm going to do something that it's important that I do only because of a day like tonight. Well, night like tonight. Say that 5 times fast. On a night like tonight, it is important to do what I'm about to announce. Okay? And that is, and by the way, before I say anything, Roland, we're airing the debate live on WTIC, right?
Correct.
So everybody, if you are driving in your car or if you're sitting at home, if you want to, I know most people are watching on television, but of course, but if you are driving home, if you're one of those guys driving in a cab, doing Uber, right? I want you to listen to the debate on WTIC. If you haven't downloaded the Odyssey app, download the Odyssey app so you can listen to the debate if you can't watch it on television. Okay? And I know a lot of people have apps on their phone, but you shouldn't be doing that while you're driving. So listen to it. But I'm going to give you something else even better. How would you like to hear Reese on the Radio talk about it afterwards? Immediately afterwards. Well, you can have that opportunity. All you have to do is just go to reaseontheradio.com. Just reaseontheradio.com. Right? I don't know whether or not we'll be doing anything on air. Hint, hint. Hint, hint. For those of you who are listening in the front office. But I will be available. Just to let you know. Because I know a lot of people will be doing analysis, but you know what? Everyone's going to be doing live analysis all over. CNN will be doing it. ABC will be doing it. CNN will be doing it. Everybody will be doing it. Did I say CNN already? Whatever. It doesn't matter. They'll all be doing it. But no one does it like me. All right, let's be honest. No one does. But you can join me going to reaseontheradio.com immediately after the debate. Plus, you get to chime in as well. You get to be Van Jones. You get to be Anna Navarro. I'm kidding. You do not want to be any of those people. Okay? But you can be on the chat room and you can tell me what you think and we can talk about it and, go back and forth. Okay? So, if you want to do that, that's fine. But don't forget, listen on WTIC.com. If you're driving in your car and you want to listen to the debate, that's what I do when I'm missing stuff. And WTIC is, of course, simulcasting it. That's what I do. I make sure that I'm listening there. Or, of course, on the Odyssey app. All right? With that, let's get into our first view of the traffic this afternoon with none other than Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. How are we doing, Mark?
I'm doing great, Reese. I hope you are, too. How can you not be doing good with the weather's this nice?
Oh, yeah.
It's just beautiful. Southbound 91 delays, approaching 33 down to 32 A and B. If you're on the northbound side of 91, that moves well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is slowing, approaching the Oakley Bridge. up to 47. Sigourney, 84 eastbound delays from exit 44, Prospect Oakwood into the tunnel. 291 384, that looks good east of the river. 2 eastbound, no problems. Glastonbury into Marlboro. Now, if you're heading 9 northbound into Middletown, some slow traffic, 22 up to the Ariconi Bridge. 9 northbound also slowing, getting by exit 32 in Berlin. If you're traveling in the westbound side of 84, look for delays in Cheshire from 26 up to 22 in Waterbury on the westbound side of 84. 84 eastbound slowing by exit 5 in Danbury. Again, 84 eastbound, a little tight, 10 to 11 in Newtown. Northbound, 91 in New Haven, an accident between exit 2 and 3 in the right center lane has just slow going through there back to 95. And if you're traveling 95 southbound, look for delays in New Haven 46 down to exit 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
At Joe the Plumber, we stand behind all our residential work, except maybe toilets. I mean, we do great work on toilets, but toilets are right up against the wall, so they're kind of hard to stand behind, you know? Visit us at calljoetheplumber.com.
WTIC weather.
For the rest of the afternoon, sunny and nice. A great evening ahead of us. The high of 79 this afternoon. Then clear skies, cool but comfortable temperatures tonight. The low dropping all the way down to 48. A gorgeous day for our Wednesday. Partly sunny. It'll be warm. The high of 80. There'll be a light breeze out of the south. Clear to partly cloudy for Wednesday night. Comfortable once again. The low down to 52. Thursday, another beautiful late summer day. Sunny skies. It'll be warm. The high of 84. Light
Here's
breeze
the
out of the
delicious
south.
fall
Thursday
favorites.
night, clear to partly cloudy. The low down to 56. Sunny to partly cloudy for Friday. Rounding out the week on another stunning note.
scared the
high
hell
of
out of me.
84 with a light breeze out of the south. Sunshine, some patchy clouds. Beautiful start to the weekend Saturday with a high of 86. Mostly sunny on Sunday. Another fantastic day. The high of 85 with a light breeze out of the southeast on Sunday. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is 99 and throwing a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
4 o'clock, Hartford temperature 76 degrees. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva. WTIC 1080 News. A student at
Be right back.
school says she hopes the school's aerospace program continues after the sudden death of its leader. Teacher Paul Pelletier and 15-year-old sophomore Delilah Van Ness were killed in a plane crash in Vermont Sunday. Classmate Angel Benitez says they worked well together.
Mr. Pelletier and Delilah, they were like a team. They're all like together. They were like all mostly the brains of the whole operation. Like with them gone, I don't know who's going to fill that gap.
Benitez and 10 other students were at a vigil for the victims at Russell Library in Middletown. Pelletier and Delilah died with her mother, Susan, and another man when the small plane they were in crashed into the woods on its way back to Connecticut. It is unclear why that happened. The NTSB is leading that investigation. Tens of millions of Americans are expected to watch tonight's presidential debate between Vice President Harris and former President Trump in Philly, including these voters.
To hear what both individuals have to say.
This debate is really tight, and they're both very strong candidates.
More from correspondent Jared Hill.
Tonight's debate comes at a critical moment for both campaigns as they try and win over undecided voters. Razor-thin margins separate the two in just a handful of battleground states, according to the latest CBS News polls. Here in Pennsylvania, Harris and Trump are essentially in a statistical dead heat.
WTIC News Talk 1080 will have coverage of the debate beginning at 9 p.m. Day 4 of that manhunt for a suspect who opened fire on a Kentucky highway last weekend. 5 were injured. Authorities have been scouring the woods in London, Kentucky, looking for Joseph Couch. Trooper Scotty Pennington says the area police are searching is very large.
This is not like going across the road and looking in the woods and finding somebody. This is the national forest. This is thousands and thousands of acres where Mr. Couch could have went.
Pennington asked the public to call in any tips and leads they may have to help police locate Couch. Investigation continues in New Haven after a woman's body was pulled from the Quinnipiac River today. Police say the body was recovered near the Ferry Street Bridge. Person's name has not been released. Investigation into how she died and how she wound up in the water continues. UN Secretary General has strongly condemned a deadly Israeli airstrike in a designated safe zone in southern Gaza that killed nearly 2 dozen.
General is calling again for an immediate ceasefire and believes there are no safe places in Gaza.
The use of heavy weapons in densely populated areas is unconscionable. Palestinians had moved to this area in Khan Yunis in search for shelter, in search of safety, after being repeatedly instructed to do so by the Israeli authorities themselves.
Israel says it was targeting senior Hamas militants.
That's CBS News correspondent Cammie McCormick. The UConn men's basketball team was the toast of D.C. today as President Biden invited the defending national champions to a ceremony in their honor, marking the Huskies' second consecutive title and sixth overall. Head coach Dan Hurley says his team never lost focus throughout the long season.
Our mindset is like relentless competitiveness with the way we go about things, a focus on just consistent improvement. We mindfully communicate with each other. I don't do that with the refs, but
Biden joked he'd be available to coach or play this coming season since he'll be leaving office in January. The Huskies begin their quest for a three-peat November 6th against Sacred Heart, a feat that hasn't been accomplished since UCLA won 7 straight in the 60s and 70s. Closing bell report sponsored by Bouvier Insurance. Dow down 92 points, NASDAQ up 141, S&P up 24. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Wesley Financial Group.
Hold on a minute.
If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare.
And 10 coming right in after the drop.
Call for your free info
Got
kit. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
What's going on, folks? Don't forget, 5 o'clock Focus coming up in about an hour, and it's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. The stupidest thing I've read today, folks, is a Gen Xer. This is the headline. Gen Xer cannot get an IT job. Well, apparently he has an MBA. He's a 48-year-old man with 4 children who has an MBA, decided to get into IT at that age. Decided to get into IT. Now, you hear all these people talking about, learn to code, they say, right? Learn a new career. Well, this man did. Gen Xer decides to do it at 48. He's put in over 15,000. What is it, 15,000? I think it's maybe 1,500. I think it's 15,000. I'll just say it's 15,000. Anyway, he put in all these applications, can't get one job. Why is this the stupidest story I've read all day? I'll tell you. Folks, IT at 48? Are you kidding me? 10-year-olds are doing IT. If you are looking for an IT job, forget it. They are going for younger people, not for somebody in their late 40s. That's the wrong career for you to be getting an MBA in. I mean, you might be able to design websites for your friends and family, but you're not getting an IT job even if you have an MBA at that age, okay? There's a 10-year-old being recruited right now to one of these companies. It's just not one of those things. But the article is supposed to suggest, it was like, oh, here's somebody who decided to join the modern age and he can't get hired. No. Every kid is do you know right now if you have a 9-year-old, he can do IT better than a 48-year-old with an MBA right now? Are you kidding me? Why would you waste your time? I wouldn't compete with these kids and stuff that they're learning. I mean, these kids are online at 2. They can navigate through a website at the age of 3. Me? I could barely get the stupid bead across the abacus. I was the worst. Speaking of which, let's talk about all those the nuts out on the roads today. DPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Mark, a 48-year-old guy decided to get an MBA in IT, and he thought that he was going to be first picked?
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of a late to start for that kind of a career.
Exactly. That's what I was just saying. There's a 9-year-old right now with more experience than the average IT person.
Yeah, these young guys, man, that stuff to them is like me, like eating ice cream for them.
Yes.
I mean, it's easy. Like I can, you know what drives me crazy is like my computer will work fine one day. I won't touch anything. And then the next day there's like 3 or 4 things that don't work anymore. It's like, well, what happened overnight? Like, what,
exactly.
Gremlins running around here? And these 9, 10-year-olds, they can look at it and go, oh, just do this, 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 and this. And I just sit there for hours and just, I'm on Google trying to figure out, how to repair this stuff. And
exactly.
It doesn't work for me.
I feel like a denuntinant. Anytime I'm around these kids and it comes to computers, I refuse it. I just leave them with the computer and walk out to avoid the shame.
Well, you and I are analog guys in a digital world.
That's
all
right.
I can say. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford Reese, southbound side of 91, that's running slow. 33 Jennings Road down to 32 A and B. Northbound 91 moving well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is tied up, approaching the Bulkley Bridge, and East Hartford up to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound slowing. 44 Prospect Oakwood into the tunnel. Looks real good east of the river. 291 through 84. 2 eastbound's okay. Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound slowing. 22 up to the Aragoni Bridge. 84 westbound, some slow traffic. Cheshire into Waterbury from 26 to 22. 84 eastbound, a little tight by 5 in Danbury. Again, a little slow. 84 eastbound at 11 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway, a little slow between 60 and the West Rock Tunnel. 95 southbound delays 46 to 44 in New Haven. And looks like we have an accident now northbound side on the Parkway. And it looks like it is between exit 56 and 57, taking out a lane there. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Well, it's been a beautiful day. We've got a quiet night ahead of us and bordering on chilly night. The low down to 48 under those clear skies tonight. Partly sunny, nice, gorgeous day for our Wednesday. The high of 80. Great weather into and through the weekend, all the way into next week. Thursday, mostly sunny, the high of 84. Sunny to partly cloudy Friday, the high again 84. Beautiful start to the weekend Saturday with sunshine and patchy clouds, the high of 86. Mostly sunny Sunday, the high of 85. Right now, Waterbury at 72, Danbury 75, and it's 77 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Don't just live with foot pain. Find the Good Feet store nearest you at goodfeet.com.
Atlas Roofing Shingles with Scotchgard Protector. Protect your home and avoid those dark stains on your roof caused by algae. Available now from the Peter L. Brown Company. For a free roofing estimate, please visit peterlbrown.com.
Your vacation possibilities just got more exciting. Enjoy connections to over 20 cities across Europe when you fly non-stop to Dublin from Hartford with Aer Lingus. Great fares from Bradley International Airport, now available on airlingus.com.
I asked Janine how Justin did, and she said, "Oh, everything was great. He was great."
I'm Jan, Deb's sister.
And then you like, Justin was horrible. I was like, "Oh, snap."
It was evident that he didn't just know where he just didn't know where things were. So that was the only downside. Just he didn't know where things were. He was what was it? It was sort of like what was the term that how's the phrasing go?
Find your new best friend.
He was a blind man in a new apartment.
Adopt or donate today. For more information, head to NBC.com/cleartheshelters. Brought to you in part by WTIC News Talk 1080.
This is the story of the one. As a warehouse manager, her job is to transform chaos into clarity and to see patterns where others see problems. Luckily, she's got a partner who shares her perspective. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products, backed by real person support and in-depth online resources, so she can tackle every task with precision and turn potential setbacks into streamlined success. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
1 minute.
Timeshare. Don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about you and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121.
It's Reese on the radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Oh, that's an old one. What's going on, everybody? It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. Before we get into the next part of the show, are you really playing It's Yours by Tila Rock?
Yeah.
And Mantronics? You want to hear an interesting story about that record? Do you know what that record is played backwards? You don't know?
I don't.
You don't know. That record played backwards is Paul Revere by the Beastie Boys.
Oh, really?
Yes, it is. That is the famous Beastie Boys, Paul Revere. It's just It's Yours played backwards. Just one little riff. And it was him. Yep. I tried. I try not to know all of this stuff, but I just do. We got to get into the phones, but after we get into the phones, I got to play this thing that happened on CNN. A random act of journalism took place on Aaron Burnett's program, and I got to play it for you, so stick around for that. Let's get into the phone calls. Dave is in Brantford. How are we doing, Dave?
Yeah, how you doing, Reese? I'm in my 70s, so excuse the old man ramble, but I want to talk about debates past, and it's the 80 debate with Carter and Reagan.
Yeah.
And it's famously known that Reagan asked the question, are you better off than you were 4 years ago?
Correct.
And that was considered dispositive to get rid of Carter. But Carter also made a big, dumb closing statement. He said, I asked my daughter, Amy, what she thought was the most important.
My goodness, Dave. I've been quoting that for 20 years. I swear to God.
She thought nuclear war. And people said, what is Jimmy Carter asking his 12-year-old daughter about what she thinks is important?
Exactly. And it shows that he's not a serious person when he said that, which is so typical. Do you know the worst part about that, Dave, is that no liberal has learned from that because they keep using children as a means to advance their policies. Let me give you an example. Do you remember when the Gulf of Mexico, we had the Deepwater Horizon oil spill?
It blew out.
Yeah, when it blew. Yes. What did Barack Obama say when he was in the bathroom shaving? That his little daughter walked in and says, Daddy, are you going to plug up the hole? Remember that? Remember that?
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah. He'll never forget it. He did it during a press conference, talking about how his daughter walked into the room and asked him, how was it? Because he was trying to talk about how significant it was to get this thing plugged up, that his daughter had walked into the room and told him. I was like, dude, nobody takes this seriously. It's that out of mouths of babes nonsense that people think is supposed to be, oh, my goodness, they're so thoughtful, little people. Shut up.
So, let me finish on that point.
Yes,
At
sir.
the time in the early 80s, there was the anti-nuclear movement. And all the cities declared themselves a nuclear-free zone.
Yes.
And in the city of New Haven, there was what they called die-ins, where
Yes.
would buy skeleton Halloween costumes and fall down in the middle of intersections
Yes.
and block traffic. And they spray painted what they called nuclear shadows.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Which looked like the after Hiroshima, where you get the outline of an irradiated
Yeah.
body.
Mhm.
And it was graffiti. It was all over the roadways. It was on the sidewalks in the parks. And so nuclear war is not less of a threat now than it was then. In fact, it's probably more likely a rogue country will.
Yeah, but it was no longer,
Manhattan.
remember, the reason why they've abandoned it, because it's no longer, look, everything they do is a platitude in polling data, right? So it's that all they do. When it's no longer popular, they abandon it, right? When it's no longer.
Well,
I'm
that's
sorry.
my point. So the Yaleys are now, they've glommed onto this keffiyeh-wearing Hamas thing. And, and I even read yesterday Greta Thunberg, the climate existentialist,
Exactly.
has now decided it's the Jews
Yeah.
that are wrecking the climate. She's this, and so that's my walk down memory lane.
Oh,
Thanks
it's
for letting me on.
fantastic. Trust me, very,
Bye.
very good and astute walk down memory lane. I appreciate it. Let's go to Steve in Andover. Hello, Steve.
Hey, Reese.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. You had asked me to call you back last week, and I never got around to it. I was too busy. But something that I wanted to bring up that was in relation to what we talked about last week.
Yes.
Tonight is, obviously, we're talking about the debate, right?
Yes,
So,
of course.
last week, Kamala Harris did a speech, press conference, whatever, a campaign event, and I forgot which city it was in. But one of the things that she said was she wanted to make basically she was blah, blah, blahing about prices and making things affordable. It might have been housing, I don't remember, but she mentioned, she goes, I want to make it more affordable for teachers, nurses, and firefighters. Now, typically, when people talk about public people, they include 4 jobs. She absolutely left out the 4th obvious one, which was police officer.
That's right.
And that was by design. That
Yes.
wasn't by accident. You talk about platitudes. Like, she'll talk every once in a while about, how she's not for defunding the police, whatever, and we know she was in the past.
Mhm.
But that statement that she made right there, to me, was incredibly telling. Because, like I said, typically when people talk about those 4 fields of work being in the public eye.
Right, because they're public
and
worker
for public
unions
service.
as well, because that's what she needs to
Yeah.
appeal to, public worker unions.
But, like I said, it was obvious the one that she left out, and to me, it was obvious that she left it out on purpose. It wasn't a slight. It was simply her intention. She wasn't going to talk about cops.
Right, to omit them. Yeah.
And to me, like I said, that was very. I see no one else in the media talk about that and bring that up. But for me, it was painfully obvious. So just throwing it out there for now.
Nope, I appreciate it. Thank you, Steve. Much appreciated, sir. Speaking of which, yesterday after I had the conversation with Patrick in Middletown, it was Patrick, right? Patrick Patrick in Middletown. When he called in, you remember I was saying that he was talking about housing, and I mentioned Kamala Harris. In fact, another person had called in, and I can't remember who it was, but I want to say it was Lori, maybe. But I was talking about housing, and Kamala Harris's $25,000 for a new home. And I had made the mention that Kamala Harris was only going to give that $25,000 to a particular group of people, to the complexion with the protection. And what did I mean by that? Well, I wake up this morning, but folks, I know I'm going to break my arm patting myself on the back, but trust me when I tell you, all I have to do is say something, and there's an article in the paper about it the next day. New York Post, Kamala Harris's $25,000 homebuyer grant plan is equity giveaway in disguise. This morning, they wrote that article. I kid you not. Kamala Harris is promising to provide first-time homebuyers with $25,000 to cover the down payment. Her promise is providing the popular 80% of Democrats and even 20% of Republicans who favor it. It says, but the devil is in the details, and the media are asking no questions. The biggest question is whether Harris, as president, would help all first-time home buyers, regardless of their race, or target the help to achieve racial equity as her past actions suggest. Harris has a long track record of promising $25,000 in down payment help, but her goal was never to help first-time home buyers. Instead, she insisted she aimed to close the homeowner gap between black and white families. As she said in 2019, we must right the wrong after generations of discrimination and give black families a real shot at home ownership. Her $25,000 home down payment promise was limited to first-generation home buyers. Why did she limit the help to home buyers whose parents never owned a home? To ensure the most of the help would go to minority home buyers, of course, as predicted. Now, let me get into this before I get back to the phone calls, because I want to make sure that I threw this in there. In a random act of journalism, CNN did this.
Am I not all you dreamed of?
Oh, I'm sorry, wrong one. I was playing the dream sequence again. Sorry. Random act of journalism, CNN, take two. I can't believe I did that.
Tonight, Kamala Harris releasing details of her policy positions for the first time on her campaign website. A K-file investigation has uncovered, meantime, a 2019 questionnaire. And in this questionnaire, Harris laid out some much more liberal stances, among them on immigration. So in 2019, in what K-file found, she said she would cut funding to ICE, writing, quote, "Our immigrant detention system is out of control, and I believe we must end the unfair incarceration of thousands of individuals, families, and children. I was one of the first senators after President Trump was elected to advocate for a decrease in funding to ICE." Well, now, of course, she's touting the Biden administration's executive order to crack down on the border. K-File's Andrew Kaczynski joins me now. Andrew, that's pretty incredible on its own when you're talking about what you found here on ICE. What else did you find?
Now, again, you have to ask yourself, why is CNN doing this now? Hasn't the campaign made it clear that she's departed her 2019 stances? Why would CNN do this now? Well, there's a reason for that. Hear me out.
Yeah, and this was a questionnaire that she filled out for the ACLU, and this questionnaire is really an interesting snapshot in time of that 2019 Democratic primary. Kamala Harris was trying to get to the left of Bernie Sanders. She was trying to get to the left of Elizabeth Warren, and you really see that in a lot of these answers, and I want to walk our viewers through a little bit of what she said. Let's just take immigration and look at what she said here. She said on immigration, she made this open-ended pledge to end immigrant detention. She said she supported taxpayer-funded gender transition surgeries for detained migrants. She also said she supported
Taxpayer-funded gender transition surgeries for detained migrants.
She
actually said she supported that.
She both wrote and answered in the affirmative when she was asked this.
Oh.
So, again, she didn't just answer a questionnaire. She wrote it down. These were her thoughts at the ACLU's questionnaire. So she was thoughtful in all of this. And don't forget, we're talking about the woman who said in a CNN interview, "My values have not changed."
And she said she also supported it for federal prisoners. Now, she also pledged to slash immigration detention by 50%, close all family and private facilities, and decrease funding for ICE, and then the end ICE detainers with local law enforcement.
I mean, these are things that, you know, it would be hard to think that you would come up with taxpayer funding gender transitions for detained migrants, and yet this, as you say, written and verbally. You know, what else, you know, did you find?
Well, let's take a look at her answer here on drugs. She got asked about the question from the ACLU was, since drug use is better addressed as a public health issue through treatment and other programming, will you support the decriminalization at the federal level of all drug possession for personal use? And Harris answers yes. Now, what would that mean? Well, it mean the federal all drug possession. That's not just marijuana, which she alluded to in her answer to this question, but it also would mean
federal level of all drug possession,
fentanyl, crack,
use.
Fentanyl, crack, heroin,
cocaine, things like that. Yeah.
Have they responded to you on?
This is the most important part. Has the campaign responded real time today? Here's what they said.
Her changes on these issues.
So we did put this question to the Harris campaign about the entire ACLU questionnaire, and the Harris campaign didn't answer any questions from CNN. Instead, they just provided a statement from an unnamed Harris campaign advisor that...
What? An unnamed Harris campaign advisor? They wouldn't even attach a name to it? Why?
Just said, the vice president's positions have been shaped by 3 years of effective governance as part of the Biden-Harris administration. Now, they declined to CNN to elaborate on what those positions were, and then they also provided this statement, which they attributed to a spokesperson saying, as president, she will take that same pragmatic approach, focusing on common sense solutions for the sake of progress. So where does she stand on this, all this questionnaire today? We don't know, and they won't say.
Famously, Jim Carrey said in the movie Dumb and Dumber, "So you're saying there's a chance?" Yes, there's a chance. There's a good chance. She has abandoned nothing. CNN, random act of journalism. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk? Just a few days before the debate, Erin Burnett. Oh, it's amazing what's going on over there at CNN. It's just amazing. I don't know whether or not somebody put them up to it. I have a feeling that they did. That's just my view. I think somebody's putting them up to it. But I don't know. We'll dig deeper. We'll get to your phone calls when we get back on the other side of the break. But now let's get into the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, everyone. And if you're heading toward Hartford right now, this traffic report is being brought to you by Cape Cod Fence. And looking at the southbound side of I-91, look for delays 34 down to 32A and B. Again, slowing down by exit 28 on the Hartford Weather Shield line. Northbound 91 moving well, Cromwell to downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is head up just after 56 up to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound delays about a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 291 eastbound slowing off of I-91 out to just about exit 4 in South Windsor as you head over the Bissell Bridge. 384 looks good. If you're traveling 2 eastbound, that's a good ride. Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound slowing approaching Harbor Park to the Oregoni Bridge. 84 westbound in Cheshire delays from 26 up to exit 22 in Waterbury. 84 eastbound's a little tight as you move between 10 and 11 in Newtown. South 95 New Haven tied up from 46 down to 44 in New Haven. I'm Mark Christopher. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Traffic brought to you by Cape Cod Fence. More than just fences.
Cape Cod Fence Company in Canton has been Connecticut's premier fencing contractor since 1956. Quality craftsmanship, products that last for years, and the local team known for expert installation. Check us out at CapeCodFence.com. Cape Cod Fence Company.
WTIC weather.
Well, the rest of the afternoon, sunny and nice. A great evening ahead of us. The high of 79 this afternoon. Then clear skies, cool but comfortable temperatures tonight. The low dropping all the way down to 48. A gorgeous day for our Wednesday. Partly sunny. It'll be warm. The high of 80. There'll be a light breeze out of the south. Clear to partly cloudy for Wednesday night. Comfortable once again. The low down to 52.
I don't think so, Michael.
Thursday, another beautiful late summer day. Sunny skies. It'll be warm.
Oh, and that was another thing, Roland. The dump button. That was a problem.
Night, clear to partly cloudy. The low down to 50.
Oh, what a dumb was.
Dude, they picked the right one because that day we had 2 callers who cursed on the mic, and I'm like, damn it.
The high of 86.
And
Mostly sunny on Sunday.
The first one was so
Fantastic
bad
day.
that somebody left a
The high
voicemail on
of
Janine's
85 with a light
voicemail,
breeze out
and
of
she
the
forwarded it to
God.
me. I was like,
meteorologist
damn
Nancy
it.
Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now
It's right. It's literally right here. It's a big red button. That
But
says,
here's the thing. He didn't even hear it. I don't know what he was doing, but he missed it. And I was like, damn it.
At Russell Library.
That's the key. He didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Of that plane crash Sunday in Vermont. 4 died.
Even
including
Joey
Middletown
caught
High
me.
School
I said,
student,
son of a bitch.
her
Even Joey
aviation
caught me.
instructor, mother, and another man.
That's crazy.
He is investigating. Was closed.
People don't realize they'll walk by and see you sometimes just idle. So they think you're not doing them, but they don't realize you have to listen to every word.
Every word, yep.
To question is also dead. Shots rang out on Seaview Avenue last night. Victim found on Central Ave. The man wanted for questioning was found dead today in Stratford. Body was found in the Quinnipiac River in New Haven today. Police say the body of a female was found near the Ferry Street Bridge. No word yet on an ID or an exact cause of death. Farmington police have arrested a 65-year-old man who allegedly attempted to sexually assault a tenant's dog at the
What is the world coming to?
living facility. What? Employed there as a maintenance worker, 65-year-old Jose Ramos Cordero of New Britain is charged. Vice President Harris and former President Trump square off in a presidential debate tonight in Philly. WTIC News Talk 1080 has complete coverage beginning at 9. And President Biden welcomed the UConn men's basketball team to the White House today to celebrate the Huskies' second straight national championship. Team led by Dan Hurley presented Biden with a jersey. Hurley says they're now focusing on a three-peat when the season begins in November. Dow was down 92 points on Wall Street today. The Nasdaq gained 141, and the S&P was up 24. Baltimore at the Red Sox tonight at Fenway. We won't have that game because we will be carrying the debate. Kansas City and the Yankees at the stadium, and the Mets are in Toronto to take on the Blue Jays. Eastern League, the Yard Goats at Akron, 6:35 on the Odyssey app. And in the WNBA, Connecticut Sun on the coast.
All right, so I got James and Steve, right? They're still on hold?
And more, go to WTIC.
Yeah, they're still here.
All right,
John
good.
Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Glenn Zinn, the IS manager at Lux Bond and Green, truly appreciates the service he receives from Tab Computer Systems.
I think responsiveness to any problem that we have
whether that be a broken printer or setting up new computers or a quote for a new computer. I've never really had a problem.
That clip from Coming to America was cold, right?
That was crazy.
I think that's one of the real.
I was like, wow.
From the person you call, or I use the customer portal to send a service. Responses.
She was in the second one too.
Oh, was she? I didn't even realize they put her in the second one. Oh,
Yeah, I think she was in the second one.
Oh, I totally have to check that.
Trust Tab's nearly 4 decades of experience. Call 1-888-TAB.
That was funny though.
1-888-TAB, the numeral 4 HELP, or visit Tab Inc.
I was wondering where you going. I heard the music, the
harp.
Yeah, the little harp. I was like, where is he going with this?
G's advancing business. Tab Computer Systems.
Wow, honey, have you seen?
1 minute.
It's out of control. But have you heard of?
I played it for my wife first, and she was like, "Oh, that's so cold."
Heats water when we need it. So much more efficient than our giant tank heater.
That sounds great. Let's look into Navient.
Already on it.
Imagine all the hot water you need only when you need it. Bulky tanks are history. Navient high-efficiency tankless is the future. Compact, wall-hung units free up floor space, lower energy bills, longer life than tanks, and a 15-year warranty. Find out more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
California Psychics is the real deal. They helped me out.
Michael,
totally
he
changed my
said, what
attitude,
makes you look like
totally
a
got me
canine
psyched to
and
start
want
my
to
business
fornicate?
and take a new path in my life.
At California Psychics, we only connect our customers with the best. We reject 98% of the psychics who apply to us, so we guarantee isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080. Reese on the Radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
No doubt. Let's get to the chat room. Lori says, what is your favorite James Earl Jones movie? It's always going to be The Empire Strikes Back because that is my favorite movie of all time. Now, I know it's campy. I'm sure the rest of you like, War of the Worlds, the original, and all that other good stuff. I'm sure Citizen Kane is up there with all of you really, really true cinephiles in the world. But The Empire Strikes Back is my favorite film of all time because it has sentimental meaning. That's all. Yes, James Earl Jones. That's my favorite one. Of all. So everyone's listening to the top of the hour news. Jonathan Silva, let me tell you this. No one has ever begun a broadcast or had any broadcast in my lifetime that involved the assault on a poodle in that fashion. So you've got everybody in the chat room responding to that one. I cannot tell you the comments that are in here. I can't even read them on air. That's how crazy they are. That was as soon as myself and Roland and everybody in the chat room went, what? Jonathan Silva, you may have broken the mold on that one, sir, without a doubt. Also, speaking of movies, saying, James Earl Jones, my favorite film, you guys have homework this weekend. Yes, I know I gave you homework yesterday, but I said that tongue-in-cheek. You do have homework this weekend. You don't have to do it. You'll just be graded. You'll get a
It's just John, not Jonathan, he says.
Oh, it's just Jonathan. Oh, sorry, Jonathan. I'm sorry, Jonathan Silva. I apologize. Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate it.
It's John, not Jonathan.
Well, why not? I'm sorry. I'm saying John Silva. My apologies. So what I want to say is you all have homework this weekend. What is your homework? To watch the movie Am I Racist? You have to go watch it. I'm going to see it Friday, and we're going to talk about it on Monday. I have to see this movie. Only because tomorrow, in my stupidest thing I've read all day, wait until you see what that story is if you haven't heard it already. It is based on this movie. I know you'll probably look it up, but if you're kind, you'll wait until it posts on my page. And again, I'm sorry, John Silver. The movie is going to be hilarious. That movie is going to be insane, and I can't wait to see it on Friday. So I'm going to give my review of it. I'll give a small review. I'll give a non-spoiler review on Sunday on my Sunday show, but I will give a full breakdown on Monday of the movie. But I'm giving you homework to go watch it. If you can find a way to watch it without having to go to the movies, that's on you. But I would implore you, go to the movies and go watch it. It's something people always talk about. There's nothing good to watch in the theaters. This is a good movie to watch, and you can support it. I'm sure it's going to be funny. All right. Somebody says my favorite James Earl Jones movie is The Lion King. Rest in peace, Mufasa. Okay. I mean, I don't know if that's a James Earl Jones movie. It's animated. Do you have a favorite James Earl Jones movie, Mark Christopher, in the BPS Traffic Center?
You know, Reese, I apologize. I am the worst with movies.
Okay, but James Earl Jones, if you can remember anything that he was in.
Well, you have Star Wars. You have
Yes.
The Lion King.
Right.
You know, you know what? I was a big fan of his voice. I mean, because
Yeah.
being in this business.
Oh yeah.
He had the bigger than life pipes that I will never have.
Exactly.
And I looked up to that. I was like, man, what I would do with pipes like his, boy. Woo.
Best line he ever said was, "I am your father."
I.
Just the way he delivers that line.
Oh, yeah. And it still blows my mind that he had a big time stuttering problem. For him to overcome that and have the confidence to do what he ended up doing is a pretty amazing and special story. No doubt about that.
He will be iconic, and he will be.
He is.
Forget about it. He's a superstar, stratosphere, without a doubt.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Reese. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon.
I like Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, he was great in that.
And for fast,
did John come running into the studio saying, "It's John"?
Visit Call Joe the Plumber.
Oh no, he hit me on. We have a little
chat room.
Like I don't know what you call it. It's
okay.
Big ass walkie-talkie shit.
Oh, okay.
Downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge to exit 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound.
Look, he was like John, not Jonathan.
291 eastbound running slow.
I'm sorry, John.
He's like, at least it's better than when he used to call me Greg Little.
Oh, I thought it was Greg Little. I got it wrong.
Northbound Bridge. Westbound 84 a little tight from exit 25 up to exit 22 in Waterbury on the westbound side of 84. 84 eastbound Newtown slowing 10 to 11. Southbound Parkway a little slow by 60 in Hamden. And 95 southbound New Haven, you're tight 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Well, it's been another beautiful day, and that's going to stretch right on into and through the weekend, quite frankly. For tonight, clear skies, quite cool, bordering on chilly with the low down to 48. Beautiful day for us on Wednesday, partly sunny, the high of 80. Mostly sunny Thursday, up to 84. Friday, sunny to partly cloudy, the high right back to 84. Late breeze out of the south that day, and a great-looking weekend here for us. Sunshine and patchy clouds Saturday, the high of 86. And still warm on Sunday, mostly sunny. Light breeze out of the southeast, a high of 85. Right now, New London at 75. Same for Mansfield. Bristol at 76, at 77 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Start your day with all the latest sports information. Matt Soroyce has updates from the Cordell and Cordell Sports Desk at 15 and 45 past every hour. Only on WTIC News Talk 1080. Join us this Sunday for Tumulo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father and son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch the replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumulo Financial Retirement Planning with Integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Now, your ideas don't have to wait. Dell Technologies and Intel are pushing what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to now.
A happy place comes in many colors. One that leaves you feeling refreshed. Something that gets you all fired up. Or gives you the space to chill. Whatever your color, bring happiness home with CertaPro Painters and make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring,
One minute.
know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It is your girl, Cammie. And I want you to know that when I listen to the radio, okay, I listen to Reese on the radio.
Got a lot of people opining about James Earl Jones' greatest role ever. Lori says, cry the beloved country. C. Judge says, Field of Dreams, as does Susan M. I know you've all got a favorite James Earl Jones movie. Don't get me wrong. I love them all. I think James Earl Jones, in fact, his stage work is amazing. I saw a clip today. Someone sent me a clip of him in Fences, which was, again, he was absolutely phenomenal. It was the scene where he's talking to his son in Fences about why you don't like me. I ain't got to like you, boy. It's a great scene. It's a great scene, but it's a cold scene. And of course, James Earl Jones kills it as he would anything. Let's go back to the phones. 860-522-WTIZ. These gentlemen have been waiting for a long time. James is in Newington. How are we doing, James?
Oh, no, James is out of there.
Oh, he's gone. So let's go to Stephen Windsor. I apologize. Hello, Stephen.
Hello.
How are we doing, sir?
Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn. You got to turn me down, though. I can hear myself in the background. How you doing, sir?
You're done with all the commercials. Okay. Jesus, I mean, I can't believe all the minutes that are spent on commercials on CSC.
I hear you, boss.
It's unbelievable. No.
What can we do for you?
But tonight's debate, and it's unfortunate it's come to this. You know, and I voted for Trump the last 2 elections, but we're at the point now where it doesn't matter because what's Trump going to do in 4 years? And we wind up going back to the other side all over again. You know, we're in trouble here. The bottom line is this. We spend so much money in our budget on the interest on the national debt as it is, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We run a deficit. The national debt, it's unbelievable. Okay, you with me?
Yeah, I'm listening.
We're gonna wake up some morning. Everyone is gonna wake up. I won't be here. I'll be gone in about 4, 5, 6, 8 months out of this country. But the fact is, they're gonna wake up and find out the currency has been devalued 20-25%. Okay, and then they're people that, let's say, for example, had $40,000 in their bank. Now it's only worth $30,000.
They're not going to care.
We're not the same country we were.
But do you understand why they don't care?
They're ignorant. I mean,
No. It's not. No. It's not just because they're ignorant.
I'm a consultant for 2-3 companies.
Okay.
And over the last 2 weeks, I asked probably 25, 30 individuals if they knew the definition or the difference between the budget deficit and the national debt.
Mm-hmm.
And only 4 or 5 people knew the answer.
But
that is scary.
But I understand you're right. But I'm saying, do you understand why they don't care?
They don't know it.
No. Aside from not knowing it, even if they knew it, do you think that they would care?
Yeah, because I don't think they would have left Larson and the Blumenthal's and the Murphys in office as long as they have.
I get what you're saying, but I'm going to tell you why I know they don't care. Because remember, what these people do, and I always go back to Rush Limbaugh's undeniable truth of life. These people care about what makes them feel good, not what people do. That's the way in which they react. If you think about this society, what has it been? What has it been about? They're offended by everything.
I had to work with, okay? I had a coworker for many, many years, decades, couple decades, that I didn't like at all. He was an idiot and just a bully and a brute. But when it came to being in the trenches with him to get something done, he was the best guy to be with, and I tolerated that. This country, the general public, hates Trump no matter how good the guy was.
Right. I know. And again, it's because it's about how they feel.
The population deserves what they're going to get.
Exactly. And again, if it's about what makes you look, these people are always reactionary based upon what makes them feel good, what makes them feel bad, the choices that they make. You have to ask yourself, people say, why is the country overweight? Obviously, because eating unhealthy makes them feel better. They are active. Yeah. Why are STDs rampant in DC, in the DC area? Why? Because people do exactly what makes them feel good, and it takes no responsibility.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Look at the number of cancer victims in this country.
Exactly.
Okay? And it's all justified and allowed by the government, okay?
Again, when people are known to do what makes them feel good instead of what's practical, reasonable, right? They will always choose what makes them feel good because, again, they're looking at it in a sort of flippant and dismissive way. Now, don't get me wrong. That completely goes out the window when you talk about things like climate change. Then all of a sudden they wish to be involved.
There's no such thing as
no
climate
kidding,
change.
No kidding. When it doesn't matter, they throw all into it.
Do you know what the magnetic poles have been changing for the last how many decades?
That's another.
Okay?
Listen, that's another look. That's another discussion altogether. Let me move on. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate the call, sir. Let's go to Jeff in Marlboro. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing all right, Reese. How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right, buddy.
So I got two James Earl Jones moments for you.
Go for it.
Number one, a film he did in 96 or 97, I think, with Robert Duvall called A Family Thing.
Oh, great movie.
Yeah, you know it?
Yeah, it's the movie where James Earl Jones and Robert Duvall find out that they're brothers.
Yeah, Robert Duvall finds out he's half black.
Yes.
And he's been sort of racist and everything his whole life. And then he seeks out his brother, and they get into fights, and they end up getting along. It's a good movie.
Yeah, it is. Great. Feel-good movie.
Yeah, well, feel-good movie. Yeah, that's right. That's a good way to put it. A good movie. James Earl Jones is very good in it. And the other thing, have you ever seen James Earl Jones on the Big Bang Theory play himself?
First of all, somebody sent me that clip this morning. It was one of the first things I watched today. And when Sheldon walks up to him at the dinner, when he's at a restaurant, and he goes, "Let me guess, you like Star Wars." I love that.
And then he just cracks up, and he's like, "I like it too."
Yeah, he's like, "I like Star Wars too." Sit down. It's a great scene. And of course, they ding dong dash Carrie Fisher at the end of it. Yeah, it's a great scene. And it shows exactly what James Earl Jones was to all of, I guess, Hollywood. He was sort of like an everyman in that way. I looked at his repertoire just a little while ago during the commercial break, and there wasn't anything that he wouldn't do. This guy ended up in Martin Lawrence's horrible film, Roscoe Jenkins. That horrible movie. It was such a bad comedy with all of these comedy stars in it. But he showed up in movies like that. He was in The Sandlot. He did movies where he kind of made fun of himself, and I'll never forget that, what I thought was probably one of my favorite movies that he was in was Coming to America, where, he plays King Jaffe Jofar, and his personality, he was perfect for that role. You couldn't have written that for anybody else but James Earl Jones.
You didn't like Roscoe Jenkins? I thought that was kind of funny.
It was okay. I just couldn't believe that somebody like James Earl Jones would lend his name to that movie. It's one of those movies you go, James Earl Jones is in this? Because to me, he's a respected actor, thespian. You just don't go, James Earl Jones, welcome home, Roscoe Jenkins. You just don't.
Yeah, but, it's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
The two things, him doing the movie, The Family Thing, and then him playing almost a caricature of himself.
Yeah.
In that television show, you go very serious role and then very funny. It was really, really good.
Uncanny, man. We'll never get another one like him, man. I will tell you that much. Thank you, Jeff. Mike is in Plainville. How you doing, sir?
Very well. Now, do you take supplements? Do you do Red Bull? Because you sound fired up today like every other day.
I am ready to go. You know what? I was excited. There was a little bit of energy in me today. There was a little more than yesterday. But, yeah, I'm fired up. No Red Bull, though. Last time I had Red Bull, I felt like I had been dipped in Alka-Seltzer. I can't do that.
You're never lacking energy, enthusiasm. Listen, it would have been great to be on the plane with the UConn players and listen to their comments after they went to the White House today.
Well, yeah, me too. Wow.
What you could hear, what the hell was that? Oh, my God. No, really, I'd like to be on that plane just to hear what they said. But if you have to watch a debate tonight to make up your mind, I mean, it's been almost 4 years.
It's not, you know what, Mike, look at it this way. Mike, this is...
foolery started, okay? If you haven't decided by now, you need California's favor.
Listen, tonight's debate is not about Donald Trump. Tonight's debate is about Kamala Harris. And sadly enough, like I said earlier, it's like people standing on a street corner waiting for a 12-car pileup. And to see who survives it. That's literally people are anticipating how bad it's going to be. They're not anticipating how well she's going to do. They want to know how much damage she's going to do to her campaign tonight. And anyone who tells you otherwise is lying. That's the reason why everything about her is must-see TV for the wrong reasons.
Oh God, it's horrendous. What do you think? What do you think she's going to do tonight? How deep is she going to grave?
If we're lucky, we get nothing, and it turns out ABC ends up being the focus of everybody's ire tomorrow morning or later on tonight.
Maybe we'll get Joe Biden in a black tuxedo, black hat, and he's going to dance around.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Did you watch MASH when it was popular?
No, I only watched them in reruns. I was never big on MASH.
Did you ever see the episode with Harry Morgan played General Steele when he came into the camp?
No, definitely not. I'm telling you, I couldn't recite that show if you say my life depended on it, without a doubt. Mike, let me move on. I got to get a couple of more calls in there. I got to go to a break. Thank you, buddy. Let me go to Tom in Thomaston. How are we doing, Tom? Whoa, Tom. Hey. Wow, that was heavy. Okay, hey, how you doing, Tom?
Good. Hey, I never watched The Big Bang when it was on, I guess, CBS, but I started watching it on the reruns now. It's on during the day a lot.
Yeah.
I saw that James Earl Jones one about 2 months ago, and I love when he goes, Tijuana. It was great.
There's a great clip.
My favorite.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
My favorite James Earl Jones movie is Garden of Stones.
Ooh.
Have you seen it?
No, but I do know it. I do know it. Is it really good?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Okay.
It's I think it's Francis Ford Coppola's best movie.
Ooh.
I like a pop really now, but that last hour when he's in there with the camp with Marlon Brando, I mean that's just ridiculous.
Yes. but I'm going to check out Garden of Stone. Let me get one more in here, Tom. I promise. I promise I'll make it up to you. Let's go with Max in Oxford real quick before we take a break. Hello, Max.
Hey, how are you?
How are we doing, sir?
Hey, so just going back sticking with James Earl Jones with The Lion King.
Yes,
that is absolutely a James Earl Jones movie, even if it's just his voice.
Wait a minute. He's in the beginning, he dies, and then the entire film is Simba, isn't it? I love Empire Strikes Back too. I would say the amount of dialogue is probably about the same between the two movies for James Earl Jones and both those movies. How so? Wait a minute. I absolutely consider Mufasa in The Lion King. That is one of his First of all, let me say this. I will make this argument for The Empire Strikes Back and why that movie is James Earl Jones and Darth Vader in the home film. First of all, we get to see the true evil that is Darth Vader, right? We get to find out. You don't got to explain. Listen, I wrote college papers on The Empire Strikes Back. I completely understand. So I'm just saying, I heard that little clip and I'm like, wait a minute, that is absolutely a James Earl Jones movie. When you think Lion King, you hear Mufasa. I understand. Mufasa, the whole movie is carried by Mufasa's character. Simba doesn't exist without the tutelage of his father, without a doubt. But, it's almost like saying it would be ridiculous to say that the Lion King is about Scar. Of course it isn't.
Oh, absolutely.
And
I'll let you know. I know you got to run, but listen, don't forget, James Earl Jones had some really good, very short spots on some early seasons of The Simpsons.
Yep.
So he played an alien in one episode, and he did a couple spots here and there throughout the first, I'd say, 5 or 6 seasons, and you always knew it was him, and it was always so good.
Yeah, he was fantastic, and I just watched today. If you can find it, folks, look for it online. James Earl Jones doing the top 10 list on David Letterman. That is one of the funniest bits. I love that bit. If you haven't seen it, you got to check it out. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher before the 5 o'clock focus. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing great, Reese. Thank you very much. Good afternoon to you and to everyone. This traffic report being brought to you by Whittlesey. And if you're traveling on the southbound side of I-91, you're looking at delays from exit 34 down to 32 A and B. Again, slow traffic 27 down to 28 on the Hartford Weathersfield line. Northbound 91 moving well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. If you're westbound 84, you're tied up approaching the Berkeley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound, look out. We've got an accident reported between exit 46 and 48. Delays a half mile before 46 down into the tunnel. 291 eastbound slowing from I-91 over to the Bissell Bridge as you move into South Windsor. Now, if you're 2 eastbound, that looks good. Glastonbury to Marlboro. Heading into Middletown, delays 9 northbound, 22 to the Aragoni Bridge. Waterbury, 84 eastbound. Some slow traffic as you move between 25 and 22 on the westbound side of 84. 84 eastbound, a little slow by exit 26 in Cheshire. 84 eastbound in Newtown, slowing from 10 up to exit 11. And 95 south, New Haven, tight from 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WT.
Big League Rooster, man, that is, you talking about getting the trifecta, Trump, House, and Senate. Whoo! Do you understand that? We might actually see, liberals' heads explode like the movie Scanners.
WTIC weather.
Well, the rest of the afternoon, sunny and...
It was the first Treehouse of Horror? Wow, they got him to do... I totally forgot about the first one.
Cool, but comfortable temperatures tonight. The low dropping all the way down to 48. A gorgeous day for our Wednesday. Partly sunny. It'll be warm. The high of 80. There'll be a light breeze out of the south. Clear to partly cloudy for Wednesday night. Comfortable once again. The low down to 52. Thursday, another beautiful late summer day. Sunny skies. It'll be warm. The high of 84. A light breeze out of the south. Thursday night, clear to partly cloudy, the low down to 56. Sunny to partly cloudy for Friday, rounding out the week on another stunning note, the high of 84 with a light breeze out of the south. Sunshine, some patchy clouds, beautiful start to the weekend Saturday with a high of 86. Mostly sunny on Sunday, another fantastic day, the high of 85 with a light breeze out of the southeast on Sunday. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is 99 and throwing a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
5 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Middletown high school students organized a midday vigil for a respected teacher and a promising student who died in a plane crash in Vermont last weekend. Sophomore Angel Benitez says aerospace teacher Paul Pelletier was driven and supportive.
Very passionate of what he did. He really believed in every one of us and allowed all of us to pursue this aerospace dream.
Benitez says, like Pelletier, 15-year-old Delilah Van Ness was the brains of the operation in their classroom. They were killed along with Delilah's mother, Susan, and another man when their Piper Cherokee went down. The flight originated out of Windham. The four had gone to brunch in Vermont and were headed back at the time of the crash. The cause still unknown. The NTSB is on scene investigating. A student says the small vigil at Russell Library in Middletown was emotional. Vice President Harris has her first face-to-face showdown with former President Trump on the debate stage tonight.
Harris's team built a stage with bright lights to replicate the environment she will face tonight as she braced for Trump's tactics.
There's no floor for him in terms of how low he will go.
The setting will be familiar to Trump, but he has spent days tempering expectations.
if I destroy her in the debate, they'll say, Trump suffered a humiliating defeat tonight.
The two will not be able to engage in a tit for tat because the mic will be muted if it's not their turn to talk. Harris's team fears that will hamper her ability to prosecute the case against Trump.
CBS News correspondent Weijia Zhang. We will have coverage of the debate live beginning at 9 here on WTIC News Talk 1080. Investigations continuing in Bridgeport, where a woman was shot last night, and the man that police had wanted to talk to about that was found dead this morning. Witnesses say the shots rang out on Seaview Avenue last night. Victim was found on Central Ave. The man who was wanted for questioning was found dead today in Stratford. 13 fallen service members were honored today with a Congressional Gold Medal. They were killed in a suicide bombing in Afghanistan during the chaotic withdrawal 3 years ago. Among those on hand, Carol Doolittle, the mother of Corporal Humberto Sanchez.
Ceremonies like this provide a small but meaningful breath on relief in our ongoing journey of grief.
U.S. and Britain accusing Iran of sending short-range missiles to Russia for its war in Ukraine. Correspondent Cammie McCormick reports there was also comment on a shooting of a woman in the West Bank.
Aishanur Eggy was killed last Friday following a demonstration against Israeli settlements. Secretary of State Antony Blinken in London today said her death shows the Israelis need to make some fundamental changes in their rules of engagement.
It seems to show what eyewitnesses have.
Big League, if I'm right, isn't that, I want to say Richard Pryor, and is James Earl Jones in Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings? I'm almost certain of that. I got to look it up.
The violence had subsided when Eggy was shot and killed.
Israeli military has said the shooting was not intentional. Dow was down 92 points on Wall Street today. The Nasdaq.
I just looked at it. I'm right.
The S&P was up 24 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hey, it's Tom. Those goals we set for ourselves have a pretty clear course. I want a trip to Nashville, so you read a couple of reviews, talk to a few friends, save up some money, and book it. Maybe a couple of choices along the way, but overall, it's a clear course to reach your goal. Now, if your goal is to lose 40 or 50 pounds, where's the clear path? You read reviews, talk with a few friends, and try something out. When it doesn't work, you're disappointed. We've all been there, and it sucks. You know what I say? Stop trying. Do what I did and start doing. Reach your goal with Awaken 180. It's a clear course to success without the disappointment. No guesswork, no trial and error, and no medication side effects. I'm proof. I dropped 80 pounds my first go at it, and it was simple. A word never associated with weight loss, except when referring to Awaken 180. Choose the simple, clear course with the solution for weight loss. Set your course today by calling 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or go to awaken180weightloss.com.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
I'm focused, man.
We are back. It's Reese on the Radio for the 5 o'clock focus. Okay, I've got a dilemma. I've been waiting for football season. I have been, and it has finally begun. We just got through week 1. And my team ended up being the last game of the week, Monday Night Football, New York Jets versus the San Francisco 49ers. And I said it was going to be like watching my cousin fight Mike Tyson. In essence, San Francisco 49ers being Mike Tyson here and the Jets being my cousin. They suck. They just do. I know, and I know that they suck. I've been dealing with it for the longest. Truly, I believe that Joe Namath made a deal with the devil to make sure the Jets never win a Super Bowl ever while he's alive. I truly do believe this. My friend brought that to my attention back in the 90s, and now I'm starting to believe it. But I got a question for you, and it's a dilemma. I don't drink anymore, so there's no reason to watch football and drink beer. And I sat there and I watched the game, and by the third quarter, I was bored. I was done. I was like, nope, I'm done. So here's my question. For those of you who maybe you used to watch football and you just don't anymore, here's my conundrum. It's my problem. You deal with it. Should I quit on the Jets and just pick a new team so at least I can have some sort of celebration throughout the year? So just forget the Jets and move on. I've only been rooting for them for 30 years. Maybe I should move on to a more reasonable team that'll probably get me to a playoff berth.
They're going to make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, right. Anyway, should I leave them or should I abandon football altogether until the Super Bowl so I can watch some cool commercials? You tell me. I got to tell you, I watched that game yesterday, and it looked okay, but the 49ers, this kid Purdy, let me tell you something. I like this kid, Brock Purdy. I like football in that sense. I really, really do like Brock Purdy. This kid I was rooting for in the Super Bowl last year. He was the last pick. He's got everything. He's a Cinderella story. This guy got the glass slipper, and he made it to the Super Bowl. You can't help but love the guy. Watching him win, and as the Jets are playing, you say, I wasn't angry at the Jets losing because you know what, 49ers, I didn't feel bad about them winning. It's like I said, it's watching my cousin fight Mike Tyson. But at this point, I'm sick and tired of rooting for a team that's losing. So, again, should I just abandon my team, pick another one, or just abandon football to save face? You tell me. 860-522-WTIC. Let's get to Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Do you even follow football, my friend?
Yes, sir, do. Certainly do. Looking forward to another tough season for the Patriots, although they beat Cincinnati.
They did. That was a tough win, and I'm impressed by them because I thought Cincinnati would play better, but I don't know what's going on with them.
Yeah, Cincinnati, well, that's not a good start. A home game
Loss.
early in the season against not going to be a playoff team this year.
Yeah.
That is not a good loss for them.
No.
It looks like the Jets are back to their old ways, although San Francisco's an excellent team.
They are.
And the Giants are.
Well, that's pathetic.
Giants are going to have another long year, too.
All right, so
you go.
I know you're probably going to say if I switch teams, join the Patriots, right? I don't want anybody in the AFC East. I can't.
All right.
So if you had to pick a team for me to root for.
You got to root for Houston. Houston's an upcoming
Not
team.
bad.
You should root for Houston.
I'm not going to lie. I kind of like that guy.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. What's his name? Why am I forgetting his name now?
CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud. I like this kid.
CJ.
Yeah, CJ Stroud. I'm not going to lie. He's worth. My wife is screaming Dallas in the chat room. Never.
No. You're from New York City. You
Exactly.
Can't root for Dallas. Come on.
Exactly. Never going to
that's
happen.
Enough of that talk. Root for Houston.
Exactly.
No Dallas. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, Reese, this traffic report.
Just put $100 on the Jets making the playoffs.
Who did?
See.
I said, let's, me and you.
No, we're not doing that.
You're going to see some slow traffic now from exit 32 A and B, and again down by exit 27 to 28 on the Hartford Weathersfield line. Northbound 91, easy ride, Primal through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound.
My wife is saying no expansion team. Cleveland is technically an expansion team.
446 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 291 eastbound slowing from I-91 over to the Bissell Bridge. 2 eastbound's okay, Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound slowing Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. If you're traveling westbound 84 into Waterbury, you got delays 26 to 22 on the westbound side of 84 into Waterbury. 84 eastbound in Newtown slowing 10 to 11. South 95 New Haven tight 46 down to exit 44. Whittlesey wants your business to succeed. Whittlesey is more than an accounting firm. They're advocates for your business, delivering a robust set of solutions, including audit, tax, technology, cybersecurity, and advisory services. Learn more at wadvising.com. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather. It's been a beautiful late summer day, and we've got a whole string of them coming up all the way into and through the weekend, quite frankly, with a huge area of high pressure parked right over the region. Clear skies tonight, bordering on chilly with the low down to 47. And a gorgeous day to be outdoors for us on Wednesday. Partly sunny, the high of 80. Mostly sunny, warmer Thursday, the high of 84.
According to FanDuel, the New York Jets is a favorite to make the playoffs.
Here in effect, and Saturday sunshine.
You know what? I got to look at their schedule.
The weekend, the high of 86. Mostly sunny Sunday, the high of 85. So great stretch of weather for us. Do remember your sunscreen. I know it's September, but the sun is still very strong at this point. Danbury 75. Bridgeport at 79. It's 77 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Hi, I'm Deb. With my Big Y Rewards, I get points when I shop to redeem for discounts on groceries and fuel.
I'm Jan, Deb's sister. With my Big Y Rewards, I get points when I shop to redeem for discounts on groceries and fuel.
Okay, but I said it first.
It's more than food. It's my Big Y Rewards.
Now, your ideas don't have to wait. Dell Technologies and Intel are pushing what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Bring your ideas to life.
Okay,
at
they can
Dell.com.
probably take
Welcome
the
to
next
now.
3 games.
Columbia Implant Center introduces AI technology.
You may be surprised. That offense looked good on 2 of those drives, so if they could just put them more of those together, and they won't be going against that monster defense of the 49ers. They have a chance.
I'm not going to lie.
It
A
really
lot,
does go without saying.
and they do
Practicing
play
better
the
medicine
Texans this
almost
year.
always means
That's going to be a good game.
Yeah, that'll be a
suffer
good
with
game.
erectile dysfunction. You certainly want a good outcome. This is Dale for Northeast.
And that's
10 South,
Thursday night
because we
football,
do
so that's
practice
they got
better
a lot of
medicine, we're the
national
leader in
games.
treating men's sexual.
Yeah, because they got Aaron Rodgers now.
Yeah, I
terrible
imagine.
condition. It causes
That's what happens.
creates anxiety and undue hardships on a man and often on their partner as well. Yet many men suffer for years without seeking
They are
treatment.
not
But I want
beating
to
the
tell you
Bills. I
today
don't
that
care
you
what
can be
anyone says.
free of ED. Seriously, if you
Where are they playing?
They're playing Bills at
will
home.
work for you.
You never know.
They're not
For
beating the
90
Bills.
The Bills have lost a lot of good pieces. They got to depend on Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, yeah.
To run 2 touchdowns, throw 2 touchdowns. You know.
It includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free.
I
Call
can't believe they just did Monday Night
800-930-5956.
Football, then they got a game
That's
in
800-930-5956.
Tennessee, and then they got a Thursday
Or go to
Night Football game right after that.
northeastmen'shealth.com. We have 5
And
offices
2
across
games
the
later,
Northeast to serve you.
3 games after Monday Night Football again.
Balling.
Is giving away billions of dollars in tax.
You got 1 minute.
A program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-727-9105. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify.
And 10.
Important free information, call 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio. Filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
It's the 5 o'clock
I'm focused, man.
I try really, really hard, folks. Football used to be the thing I lived for. After the Super Bowl was over, I used to go into the football depression that everyone talked about, but not so much. I was excited for this year. Aaron Rodgers, all I wanted to do was just stand upright. I got that. At least he stood upright for the whole game. He lasted more than 4 plays before he got a torn Achilles. Interestingly enough, did you hear this? This was interesting last night. The guy who actually caused him to tear his Achilles ended up being traded to the team they played last night, the San Francisco 49ers. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, hell. But, okay. They got an offensive line that could protect him. That was fine, but I don't think it meant anything, especially when the score's 32-19. How many field goals did they score last night? What is it?
6.
6. It was awful. Everything was awful. And the 49ers looked fantastic, as they're supposed to. They're a former Super Bowl team. They're supposed to. But I'll be honest, every year I get sick and I just get tired and tired and tired. And I love the game of football. Sometimes I'm watching it as just a fan of the sport. Earlier that day, I watched the Pittsburgh Atlanta game, and I was actually into the game. And I had no horse in that race, so I wasn't like I don't enjoy football. It's evident that I do. I watch any game that's on TV, and I could watch it because most people watch football with something at stake, right? I know some people who will watch the game and then pick someone to, I guess, to root for in the game, even though they are not a fan of that particular team. You know, it's like you'll watch the game and it'll be Baltimore versus Cleveland, and you'll pick Baltimore because you like, what's his name? Jackson, right? So I get that, and I'm sort of that ilk. I'm not a big fan of Jackson's, to be honest with you. I kind of think that he can't pass very well. I'm not a fan. I'm not. People get mad at me about him. It's like because he's supposed to be the second coming of something. To be honest with you, I think he's a garbage quarterback when it comes to passing. Yes, he can run. He's the second coming of Michael Vick in that regard, but he can't throw the ball to save his life. He just can't. But anyway, there are plenty of teams in the league that I like, but I don't want to go into these teams that are like the easy bait. I'm not going to be a Kansas City Chief fan. It's just not happening. That almost would seem corny, like people would read into that immediately. Nothing against the Dallas Cowboys, but I've never been a fan of Dallas Cowboys. Probably because of the term America's team is too cheesy. Everybody becomes America's team at some point. For a while, the Patriots were America's team, even though everyone hated them. But for a while, they were. Green Bay Packers during Brett Favre's term or tenure? Come on. How was that not America's team when Brett Favre was on the Green Bay Packers? In fact, they were my secondary team. Even when Aaron Rodgers was there, I kind of liked this. So it was great to have him come to the Jets. But every time somebody comes to the Jets, they're always on their last legs. With the exception of Vinny Testaverde, who was straight garbage when he was in Tampa Bay. But when he got to the Jets in the late 90s, he took us all the way to the AFC Championship game, where we got our butts kicked by a 135 running effort. What was it, by Terrell Davis? Yeah. How do you pronounce, is that how you pronounce his name? Is it Terrell Davis?
I think it's Terrell Davis.
No, yeah, Terrell Davis. Maybe it was. I don't know. Terrell or Terrell. All I know is he ran for 135 yards. After we kept them scoreless in the first half of the 1998 AFC Championship game. We left them scoreless. Anyone for bonus points, who blocked the punt in the end zone in that AFC second quarter game, in the second quarter of that game, in the AFC Championship game against Denver? Who blocked the punt? I want to say it wasn't Jason Elam. I can't remember exactly who the punter was, but can you remember? Somebody says only Dallas has been and can be America's team. I don't, see, this is the part that I don't understand. That's my brother-in-law in the chat room talking about how Dallas can only be America's team. Okay, well, explain this. Why is it that, bar none, more fans across the entire country, if not the globe, are Pittsburgh Steelers fans? How is that possible? They are everywhere. Believe it. And again, I am no Pittsburgh fan. I don't know why, but they are everywhere. Pittsburgh, and this is true, Pittsburgh has more fans than any other fans, if not across the country, across the globe. And that's like active duty military and people. They do. They have fans everywhere. Everywhere. I don't understand how Dallas becomes everybody's favorite, America's team. It just doesn't make any sense. And I get it. The Jimmy Johnson era, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irving. I mean, I get it. You're going to tell me at no time was San Francisco America's team, not even during the not Joe Namath, goodness gracious, Joe Montana era with Jerry Rice? Really? Am I supposed to believe that? That sounds crazy. I might just, now that I think about it, San Francisco seems like the obvious choice for me. It just might have to be, at least right now, maybe I just have to be a San Francisco 49er fan. I do like I really do like that kid, Brock Purdy. I do. I love stories like that. His story just for some odd reason appeals to me. Kid nobody wanted, nobody even thought of, gets out there and he turns the team around. He becomes a force to be reckoned with. Gets out there and, shocks the world. And then lose it just right there. It's just fingertips right there. He's kind of the team I can root for. I'm surprised that Roland hasn't jumped in here yet to tell me to join some other team. Jay, who's your team again? Who's your team, Roland? I'm dying to hear. I don't even know. Oh,
Saints.
It's got to be the Saints. That's right. It's got to be the New Orleans Saints.
And the Ravens.
And the Ravens? Huh. Tex Scram. Yeah, I think you're right. Tex Scram is the person who dubbed them America's team. His name is Tex. Of course he did. But I can understand the New Orleans Saints. They've kind of always, well, I can't say that. They used to be the Aints.
Used to be the Aints
They
with the
used to be
brown paper bags.
the
That's what
brown
they were when I
paper
was a kid. I was like, I used to always ask, well, why do they have paper bags on their head?
Yeah.
And my uncles used to be like, because they trash.
They were. I remember that even before I was a big time football watcher. I remember that just that image of people with the paper bags over their heads. And I always thought that was just so, in my head, I didn't get the duality of that, because in my head, I'm going, wait a minute. That guy has a bag over his head because his team is garbage, but he spent money to show up to watch them lose, which again made that's dedication.
Yep, and to put the bag over your head and to be on national TV.
Exactly, which becomes an iconic image for the rest of history.
Yep.
It's like that's always going to be synonymous with the team, or at least, it's like, and wasn't it during the Archie Manning era?
I don't think so.
No,
it was the Jim Moore era. He was a head coach.
Yeah, that's true. But I want to know if, like, I know Archie Manning was a quarterback for the Saints then. I don't know if that was during that era when everyone says. But like I said, I don't know exactly who to pick. San Francisco 49ers seem like a team that I can watch. I like everybody on the team. Not everybody. I like a lot of people on the team. But I just don't know whether or not I can, in my heart of hearts, just stick with the Jets anymore.
You got to stick with the Jets just for one more season.
So you want me to give
that's all Aaron Rodgers is probably going to be good for is this last season. So you might want to stick with them. I think they're going to I think they're going to go to the playoffs.
Okay, if they go to the playoffs, I don't even, you know what? It's funny because I said last year I can take a first round, one round to the playoffs, or the first round of the playoffs, or even a wild card. I will take that from the Jets this year. But you know what's going to happen? Aaron Rodgers will leave. They'll bring in some, first round. Well, not even first round. They'll bring in some guy from LSU who, I don't know, they'll think is a hopeful. They'll trade up for the first round pick, and we'll put all of our hopes and all of our marbles on that kid, and that kid will be garbage. And it will always be the case. And then we'll go through a retooling. But I do have to say this. I was really excited about Robert Saleh being the new head coach of the Jets. But I'll tell you what my problem was. For some odd reason, they keep hiring defensive coaches as head coaches of the Jets. Every time you turn around, that's who they pick. And I want an offensive coach. I want, Belichick not taking the Jets job and writing his resignation on a napkin will always be the reason why I hate that old man. It will. Oh, I don't care what anybody says.
You guys wouldn't have had a Tom Brady anyway, though. So.
It doesn't matter if we would have had a Tom Brady. That guy was a winning. Listen, he was the assistant coach in the '98 Jets. Imagine what he would have done with them if he would have been in control of it. Because what did he do with Kraft? He said, "I want to run the team," and he did, and he turned that team around. All we needed was a Belichick, and the Jets would have been whatever the Patriots were, if not half that. If not half that, Belichick would have been that. And I will always hate Belichick for that because he said he wanted to get out of the shadow of Bill Parcells.
Yeah, Bill Parcells, yeah.
Yeah, what again makes no sense because he ended up going to the team that Bill Parcells took to the Super Bowl after all of their years of misery and pain. So he only ended up in his, well, he didn't really end up in the shadow because, he took them to so many championships. Nobody even remembers Bill Parcells was a coach there.
Six will change.
Yeah, exactly. Mind. That'll change your mind. But I've always hated him for that. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know whether or not I can leave the Jets. I'm with you. Maybe I should give them one more chance. Yeah. Maybe I should give them one last year.
Biggie said it, man.
Give them one more chance.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like I said, I don't know. It's a tough thing for me, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to keep one toe. Now I'll keep 1 foot. I'll keep 1 foot on the Jets while I root for the San Francisco 49ers with my left foot. I'm a righty, so I'll keep my right foot on the Jets, and I'll keep my left foot.
I think it's going to be a weird team that wins the Super Bowl this year.
Think so? Like an obscure team?
It's not going to be a favorite. Mahomes, they're not winning 3 in a row as good as they look.
Right.
Something's going to happen, and they're not going to get there. It's going to be a weird team that nobody's thinking about that ends up winning the Super Bowl this year.
Okay, so if I'm a betting man, I'll throw a couple of names out there since we're going obscure. Okay.
Yep.
Detroit Lions.
Possibly.
They
Yep. look good. They
look good last year.
Good. Yep.
Jaguars.
Nope, they're out.
No one likes the Jaguars. I think that listen, I believe the Jaguars have got. Remember, back in the expansion year, they were a great team.
Yeah.
As were the Panthers. It'd be nice to see them on the come up. They haven't been back in a while.
They almost went to the Super Bowl when they were about to beat the Patriots when they had Fournette. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So that's Atlanta. No, don't like them.
No, Kirk Cousins is out of there.
Yeah, that's I don't think that's. I think Kirk Cousins is on the last of this, sort of ripping off the NFL. He is robbing them blind without a gun.
Contrary to popular belief, the Steelers may sneak up.
I don't want to see another Steelers. Let me tell you something why I don't want to see another Steelers Super Bowl. Okay? The Steelers have a tendency to win a Super Bowl in unglorious fashion.
Yeah,
okay? They are the sloppiest winners of Super Bowls. During the Ben Roethlisberger era, when Hines Ward throws the most memorable touchdown in the Super Bowl, your team is garbage, okay? All right?
Just fighting.
Wait a minute. Was it Hines Ward who threw the touchdown pass? Or did he catch it?
He caught the touchdown.
But who threw it? It was somebody else. It wasn't
Roethlisberger?
It wasn't Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger did not. Somebody can remind. Somebody tell me in the chat room.
He did throw to Holmes though.
Okay, I will admit the Santonio Holmes throw.
That was perfect.
That was a perfect throw against the Arizona Cardinals. That was, by the way, I had that score perfect until he threw that pass to Santonio Holmes. Never forget that. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark Christopher. Hey, do you remember that pass Roethlisberger threw to Santonio Holmes?
There were so many.
There was the final play of the Super Bowl when he put his 2 feet down on NBC.
Yep.
It was the first time they had ever done the two toes. The NBC it, and they put a magnifying glass on his toes. It was incredible.
I know, and these catches now, these guys, they go up, they make a one-handed catch, and they land with both feet.
It's incredible.
And it's like so athletic. And they got like 3 guys around them. I don't know. It's crazy. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, Reese, the southbound side of I-91, you're going to see delays there, and you're going to be tied up from exit 34 down to 32 A and B, and again, 27 to 28. Northbound 91 moving well from Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge in East Hartford. The 45 Flatbush 84 eastbound slowing a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue down into the tunnel. 291 eastbound's a little slow. I-91 over to the Bissell. 2 eastbound's okay. Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound slowing approaching Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. Delays 84 westbound in Waterbury from 26.
Could be a Detroit Ravens Super Bowl.
Oh, that would be ugly. Nobody watched.
And 15.
Everybody's going to be tuned into that.
11 southbound Parkway delays getting by exit 60 in Hamden. South 95 New Haven slowing 46 to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
For the rest of the afternoon, a sunny and gorgeous day. The high of 79 under clear skies tonight. Quite cool and comfy with that low down to 48. Then as we head into Wednesday, partly sunny and nice. A little light breeze out of the south, the high of 80 degrees. Then for Thursday, mostly sunny, a touch warmer. A nice breeze out of the south, the high up to 84. And sunny to partly cloudy Friday, the high right back to 84. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
5:30, good afternoon. I'm John Silva. Community gathered today for a vigil in Middletown for the victims of a plane crash over the weekend in Vermont. The 4 had flown out of Wyndham Airport for brunch and were on their way back to Connecticut when the plane went down. Among those on board, a teenager and her high school aviation teacher, her mother, and another man. The NTSB is investigating. Crash early this morning left an East Hartford police officer with minor injuries. officer's cruiser was struck on Burnside Avenue. He was taken to the hospital to get checked out and be treated. New Haven police investigating after they say the body of a woman was pulled from the Quinnipiac River. Got the call around 7:30 this morning. A black female in the river, they say, near the Ferry Street Bridge. In Bridgeport, police say a woman was found dead Monday night, and a person wanted for questioning in that case has now died himself. 27-year-old was found on Central Avenue Monday night after police were alerted to shots on Seaview Avenue. Detectives say the man they were looking for was found dead today in Stratford. And tonight, Vice President Harris and former President Trump take their cases to be president to the American people. The two will square off in a debate in Philly in what could be the only such forum of the campaign. WTIC News Talk 1080 will air the debate beginning at 9. Wall Street, the Dow down 92 points today. The NASDAQ gained 141 and the S&P was up 24. Orioles and the Red Sox game 2 of their series tonight at Fenway. The Yanks host Kansas City at the stadium and the Mets take on Toronto. Eastern League, Yard Goats at Akron. That's 6:35 on the Odyssey app. And a late one for the Connecticut Sun and the WNBA tonight as they visit the LA Sparks. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
It's time to clear the shelters. Since we started 10 years ago, NBC, Telemundo, and you have helped over 1 million pets find their forever families. Let's make our 10th year the biggest yet. Are you ready to find your new best friend? If you want to help but can't adopt, your donations can go a long way. Adopt or donate today. For more information, head to nbcconnecticut.com/cleartheshelters. Brought to you in part by WTIC News Talk 1080.
Do your dress shoes, casual shoes, boots, and even your sneakers hurt? And are you starting to wonder, isn't there any shoe out there that'll get rid of my foot pain? Maybe you don't need a better shoe. Maybe you need better support in your shoes. That's where the Good Feet store can help.
When I went to the doctor and got diagnosed with plantar fasciitis, he told me that I could only wear sneakers. So there went all my summer collection of shoes and all my dress shoes I couldn't wear. It was just too painful, too much foot pain every day. I wanted to take off my shoes as soon as I got home every day, but as soon as I got my arch supports from the Good Feet store, I have no foot pain whatsoever, and I can wear any dress shoe that I want.
Book an appointment for your free fitting at goodfeet.com. Don't just live with pain. Come see us at the Good Feet store and see how we can help. Come in today. We're located in Avon at 25 Climax Road across from Whole Foods. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book an appointment for your free fitting at goodfeet.com or just stop in. Walk-ins are welcome.
You're in, mister.
What'd I do?
I told you months ago our utility bills were getting higher because of that old outdated tank water heater.
Maybe it's time we finally switch to a Navien tankless.
Learn about Navient's high-efficiency tankless water heaters, endless hot water, all while helping you save on your energy costs.
Hey, look at this. Our utility bill is lower since we got the Navien tankless water heater.
Who's in hot water now?
We are, all the time.
Learn more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
This is a commercial for California Psychics, America's most trusted psychic network. So, if you're waiting for a sign, this is it. No, really, this is it. You won't see your soulmate's face in the clouds or your career path mapped out in your cappuccino foam. This really is it. We could add some dramatic sound effects if you'd like. So what you waiting for? Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
I'm focused, man.
Sorry, we're back. We're back. It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. I didn't even pay attention to that. Forgive me. We're back. Listen, tonight, right after the debate, okay, if you wish to, and unless somebody in the corporate office says something different, you can join Reese on the Radio by going to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. Again, that's Reese on the Radio at ReeseOnTheRadio.com. I will have audio sound bites. I will grab the clips, and I will give you analysis immediately after. And don't forget, we'll do it again here tomorrow as well. We'll talk about all of that tonight, but you got to go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. Also, just to let you know, tomorrow, officially, and I'm really, really proud of this because my wife worked incredibly hard at my direction, I might add. Worked really, really hard, but the Reese on the Radio Marketplace will be live tomorrow as well And she has T-shirts to boot, and she's got this one really girly T-shirt that she wants to sell to women with Reese on the Radio. I don't know whether or not she wants me to ask ladies whether or not they like it. It's obviously it's not my cup of tea, but she designed one for girls, and it's a T-shirt that she thinks that ladies would like. If I will find a way in order for you to see it, and you'll be able to give your poll but or no on whether or not you like the shirt or it's something that you would like to see. Maybe we'll work some giveaway thing. I don't think I can sell it, but I think this one is perfect. And guys like Matt and Bristol will love this idea. We actually have a Scallywag shirt that my wife designed that I love. Love this shirt. You are going to love this shirt, and you are going to want to have one. It's a Reese on the Radio Scallywag shirt that we're going to put on the marketplace, but all of that will be there tomorrow. So tomorrow when you get a chance to go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com, that's ReeseOnTheRadio.com, so that you can get a Reese on the Radio T-shirt. And, of course, we are going to use that platform because, we got to do something like, a giveaway. We've already got some T-shirts that are going out to some people as well. So we'll figure it out. All right, with that, let's get back into the traffic again with our very own Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. This traffic report being brought to you by Joe the Plumber. For fast, friendly, and reliable plumbing services, visit calljoetheplumber.com. Making your way into Hartford southbound side of 91, delays 34, down to 32A and B, and again 27 to 28. A little tight traffic again as you move between 25 and 24 down in Rocky Hill. Northbound 91, easy ride Cromwell up into Windsor. Westbound 84 slowing just after 56 Governor Street out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound slowing approaching 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 291 eastbound slowing on the Bissell Bridge as you head towards South Windsor. 2 eastbound moving well Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound delays Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. Westbound 84 is tied up from exit 25A up to exit 22 in Waterbury on the westbound side of 84. Also westbound 84 slowing approaching 16 up to exit 15 in Southbury. 84 eastbound Newtown slowing 10 to 11. Southbound on the Parkway, look out for an accident down by exit 60 in Hamden. Delays back to 62 behind that. South 95 in New Haven slows from 46 down to exit 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8 WTIC News Talk 1080.
At Joe the Plumber, we know that toilets and sinks always pick the worst times to act up. That's why we promise fast, friendly, reliable service. The friendly part is about you, not the plumbing. We're going to get medieval on that. Visit us at calljoetheplumber.com.
WTIC weather.
After another beautiful late summer day, we've got a great stretch of weather all the way into and through the weekend. Tonight, clear skies bordering on chilly with the low of 47 and partly sunny. Gorgeous day for Wednesday, the high of 80. And it starts to warm up a bit as we head toward the weekend.
Damn, this shit flew by. I didn't realize this was the last segment.
Yeah, right.
Very warm, the high up to 88. Now, Saturday, sunshine, some patchy clouds. Great start to the weekend, the high of 86. And sunny on Sunday with the high of 85. Right now, Danbury 75, New Haven 79. It's also 75 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Atlas Roofing Shingles with Scotchgard Protector. Protect your home and avoid those dark stains on your roof caused by algae. Available now from the Peter L. Brown Company. For a free roofing estimate, please visit peterlbrown.com.
Join us this Sunday for Tumulo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father and son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch the replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumulo Financial Retirement Planning with Integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot here is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is.
You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, we're back. It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080, WTIC. Now, I know that a lot of you are saying to yourself, what's the whole purpose of tonight? It's simple. You're watching it because what else is there to watch? I mean, you're going to watch network television? What? I don't even know what's on network television anymore. For those on the left, you know what they're watching for. Please let her get a couple of hits in. Let her get a couple of sucker punches in. Please, I hope that she makes Donald Trump look foolish. Gosh, it will save her candidacy. Her candidacy, if she really gets under his skin and he freaks out and he looks bad, it'll save her because she's got to look presidential. Of course, that's what they're doing all day. And for those people who are curious, or let's just say, I don't want to say curious. Let's say worrisome about Donald Trump and what Donald Trump's going to do, relax. Nobody knows. He could go completely ape. Would it matter? At this point, do you really think it's going to matter? You're so concerned, and if you are concerned, you're concerned about what others are going to say about it than you are about what happens. Think about the optics, the way in which you are looking at your television screen tonight. If you are looking at the events that are happening based upon what the reaction's going to be, then you're not watching what's happening. Right? We are in that place where we're watching Donald Trump give a speech and we immediately, and folks, you know I'm not kidding here. You know I'm not losing it here. We talk about it ad nauseum on this network. Yeah, when he said that, I knew they were going to spin it. So the thing you care about, you're always concerned about what the lying leftist media is going to do with the Donald Trump quote. Why? Do you understand that you're giving it credibility when you do that? That's what you're saying is that they have this power that you know that they don't, or at least you're hoping that they don't have. It's like, you know how they're going to spin it in the media. What does that matter? With everything they've said about Donald Trump, calling him Hitler, with everything they said about Donald Trump, calling him a threat to democracy, with everything they said about Donald Trump, he is going to cause the mass death of a group of people based upon their sexual orientation or their race. It's still tied. What are you doing? The race is still tied. He's still kicking butt in battleground states. How do you not get that it doesn't matter what the mainstream media is going to spin? How do you not get that? And I think it's a tunnel vision that people only see what they've been programmed to see. Well, ABC said this, the Associated Press wrote that, New York Times wrote this. They get so bogged down in that, you're almost anticipating it. You're looking for it. Oh, I wonder what they're going to say about this. I mean, hey, what do you think we say about race hustlers? That if they look long enough, they'll find racism. If they look hard enough, they'll find it in every nook and cranny. Well, if you're looking for media bias, folks, if that's what you're searching for every day, trust me, it's a dime a dozen out there. You're going to get it. So once you've accepted that it's there, you'll be fine. Just watch it. Don't be concerned about what other people are going to learn from ABC News or NBC News. You got to take care of you. Forget about the rest. To the phones, 860-522-WTIC. Lori is in Glastonbury. Hello, my dear. Welcome back. How are you?
Hey, Reese. So I was a little interested in that football discussion only for the sake of the fact that I don't understand football at all. I was a high school English teacher. I think I've mentioned that.
Yes, you have.
So I have no interest in football, most likely because there's too much math involved. I don't like that much math in my life. So I prefer baseball because there's a mystique to it. There's a lovely history behind it. There's intrigue and strategy, and it's just baseball to me is where it's at. And I bless you for loving football and all of the people who do, but every time football season starts, my soul dies a little bit.
Really?
Until baseball season comes back in the spring.
So, but you're not, wait a minute, baseball's not over yet. It'll be over in October or November, actually, now. It'll be over in November. You got, playoffs are going to be coming up soon. But wait a minute, now, this is an interesting thing to hear. You are the second woman I've known who listens to Reese on the radio who loves baseball. Amy in Philly, who's an avid listener of Reese on the radio, is a big baseball fan. She's a Phillies fan. And she is online and I tell everybody, by the way, Lori, you're not single, are you? Are you single?
Yes.
Okay, so Lori's single. Let me tell you this. Nothing is better than a single woman who loves baseball. Because, guys, most women think that baseball is slow and boring. My wife sure does. So, guys, if you're looking for a girl who likes baseball, I'm just telling you, Lori's out there, okay? And she's a school teacher, which means that if you get something wrong, she'll correct you. And guys like that. But to get a woman who likes baseball, listen to me, that's 162 games, men. Okay?
Yeah. I'm all in. I am all in. And I'll tell you how far in I am because I actually prefer listening to the games than I do actually watching the games.
Okay.
I love me some Joe Castiglione calling a Boston Red Sox game. That's my favorite. When he finally retires, my heart will break wide open into a million pieces.
Laura, you may be the perfect wife. At least to the baseball fans out there. No, that's you. And listen, you listen to play-by-play over the radio. That's it. Again, you have no idea how much of an anomaly you are. Absolutely, you have no idea. That is unheard of. To even hear a woman talking about baseball in a way you just don't. Guys know if you've ever taken your girlfriend I took a girlfriend 11 rows behind the visitor dugout at a Yankee game. Okay? And the woman behind her had a pair of binoculars, and her and the woman behind her, a woman she's never met, shared those binoculars to look at Derek Jeter's rear end for the entire game. That was all they looked. That was all they looked at.
You know what?
Go ahead.
You know what? I will never. I'll always respect his athleticism, but I always thought he was a little bit of a douchebag. I prefer someone. I always looked up to Mariano Rivera because of his skill set and of his character.
Yeah.
I am big into character. You can have all the talent in the world. That's great. Now, I'll never knock you for that. But if you're a douchebag, I'm going to let you know.
Well, fair enough. But that being said, I'll tell you this. I like the fact that you love baseball because baseball is it's a skilled game. It's a skilled sport, right?
Exactly.
And it's a sport that has so many variables in it, right? In the sense of, what are you looking for? You're looking for somebody to hit the cycle. You're looking for, of course, the obvious home runs. But you're looking at the guy who's got the RBIs. You got the Cy Young. You got the Golden Glove.
Triple Crown.
Yeah, the Triple Crown.
Triple Crown.
Exactly. You have so many variables in that sport that you can win. Of course, football, as it is most valuable player and then the offensive player of the year and stuff like that. But baseball has these sort of really, really weird sort of like, I want to say league champion or league trophies that you can get throughout the season. And, of course, the stats are very important to the game, right? There are so many stats that are involved. And, of course, the box scores are they're elaborate, but they're very fun. A kid that you introduce to baseball and give them a score sheet, give them a box score, and have that kid go through the entire game, that kid will love baseball for the rest of his life once he learns how to fill that out. And that's the thing about baseball that makes baseball fantastic, because there's so many things in which you can get involved in. Football, not that it isn't a little complicated, but I understand why you don't understand that game. My wife still asks me about the sport. She still does.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, I can follow basketball. I can follow soccer. I can follow hockey. I can follow baseball. But football just has too much math. I'm sorry. I don't want to work that hard to enjoy a sport. And so there we are.
Hey, listen, like I told you, baseball, the fact that you love baseball does not, listen, you're never going to get kicked out of bed for that one. I promise you, Lori. Okay? Never going to get kicked out of bed for that one. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate the call. As always. Hey, like I said, I call her my friend, Amy. She, listened to Reese On The Radio for the past 12 years. I will tell you, her passion for baseball, she's online cursing out her team all the time. But I love listening to her talk about baseball, because it's like, I like baseball, but she's into it. So to see someone else into it, especially a young lady, into the sport like that, it's like every guy kind of goes, can I watch a game with you? She's engaged. But, Lori, Lori, you don't understand that that's one of those things. Guys, how women are always looking for a guy who's funny, smart, responsible. How many guys do you know are looking for a girl who says, look, can she watch a baseball game? How lucky if a girl is into baseball, guys are sitting up there now. I know they are. They're saying to themselves, and I'll be honest, I've never met a girl who actually loved baseball. I've dated girls that took them to a baseball game. They hated it. Like girls who show up I took my wife to go to a Nationals game once. And you know what she was interested in? The pink hats. That's it. She looked at it as another opportunity to go shopping for fashion. That's exactly what she went in there. She went in there for. I know, Roland, you're not a baseball guy, are you? In the least.
No.
No. Not even the least bit into baseball. Not even a World Series. At no time.
I like the playoffs.
Okay, the playoffs. Yeah, playoffs are actually worth. That's what I say all the time. It's like, who can watch 162 games throughout the entire year? Like, I'll never watch the first 80 games. I'll admit that. I can't watch the first 80 games. And then after that, when we're getting, after the All-Star break, then I start getting I delve into baseball. But it's never earlier than that. It's never earlier than that. All right, folks. And like I said earlier, tonight, after the debate, I'll give it at least another 15 to 20 minutes afterwards, because I'll be getting some sound bites ready for you. But if you're interested, please come to ReeseOnTheRadio.com tonight after the debate, and we'll be analyzing it and playing clips, the things that I thought that were good, the things that I thought that were bad, and give you my analysis. And of course, you can go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com for other content as well. Also, make sure that you check out the stupid thing that I've read all day. In this particular case, is a 48-year-old Gen Xer who is trying to get into the IT space and cannot get a job. It's a horrible story that I cannot believe that somebody would get into that late in life. I can imagine other jobs, but why did we get into that today? I have no idea. Also, tomorrow, I had another story that I need to get into, so forgive me. There is, the Bill Nye clip that I played yesterday. I played it for someone who had called in. We were talking about that. There was something involved in that Bill Nye piece that I have to talk about. The reason why I downloaded it, I didn't get to play all of it or why, but I want to play it tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Also, I forgot, on Monday, which is incredibly important, we have Mark Fitch, who's going to be on Monday after his story about the Connecticut Green Bank and the Eversource issue. That's going to be in his article. I hope you've gone to Connecticut Inside Investigators or insideinvestigators.org and subscribe to that website so that you can get Mark Fitch's article immediately when it drops on Sunday the 15th. When it does, we'll be talking to him about his investigative report and how much money the ratepayers have been giving over the last 20 years in this hidden fee inside your Eversource bill. That's going to be a really, really big story on Monday. We'll have him on roughly about, I want to say we'll probably talk to him about 4 o'clock on Monday. So make sure that you're ready for that, right? And I think that's about it. Other than that, debate tonight, blah, 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 tomorrow's show. Okay, I think I've covered everything. All right, so remember that, Reese On The Radio. Oh, that's right, and the website goes live so that you can get a Reese On The Radio t-shirt. We've got a couple of them that are going to be on there. You can choose which one you like, and if you wish to purchase them, we appreciate if you want to purchase them. And, of course, we'll have giveaways coming up soon as well. So I think that's roughly about it. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your minds. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese On The Radio. You have a good day, pleasant tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the debate. Catch me afterwards. Let's go into Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Good night, Mark. I hope you're watching the debate.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding?
All right, no doubt.
I love train wrecks. And, I can't tear my head away from them. So
Mark will be giving his traffic report on that train wreck tomorrow.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see the debauchery at 9 o'clock.
Ground ball stabbed by Folk. He has it. He underhands the first, and the Boston Red Sox are the world champions. For the first time in 86 years.
Yes.
Can you believe it?
No, I couldn't believe it.
Nor could I.
As a Red Sox fan, I couldn't believe it. But that's for that woman who called in a few minutes ago that loves Joe Castig.
Yeah.
So I thought we'd play that for
Oh,
her.
absolutely. Good job.
Oh, man. October of 2004. I said, finally, I can die in peace. My Red Sox have won the World Series. Reese, have a great night. If you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound 91 delays 33 down to 32 A and B.
All right, good sir. Glad to be back.
Oh, God, you have no idea. Things feel normal now.
Yeah, regular. Back to work.
You got it. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy.
Into Vernon, 291, 384 okay to the river. 2 eastbound moving well, Glastonbury into Marlborough. Quiet little town. Waterbury's okay on the westbound side of 84. We are seeing delays, though, as you move between approaching exit 16 and Southbury up to just about exit 15.
All right, there we go. All right, folks, thank you, as always, for a wonderful ride. Thank you, folks, for being a part of it. You guys be good to each other. Chachi says, hey, muckraker extraordinaire. Been listening to you forever. I've been enjoying your time here in WTIC. Chachi, thank you so much. I love it when you call me muckraker extraordinaire. That's what I keep trying to tell everybody. Somebody gave you that name over at WRKO a long time ago. I've been enjoying your show here at WTIC. You're a great voice that is neat. Thank you so much, man. That is really, really kind of you. Thank you, Chachi. All right, guys, we're out of here. We'll be back tonight after the debate. So just go to resetontheradio.com like you always do. I'll be on Facebook, on Rumble, and also on X. So I hope that you will join us there. Only got a couple hours.